Okay, so that means we're now actually live, and I'll let Paul get his thing out.
Yes. I'll get my thing out. I have learned a couple of ritual spells, so if we want to check on newly discovered objects, I have identified. Also good for camping, I have Lehman's tiny hut, which means we don't need a tent.
Which means he just needs to make bunny sounds for about 10 minutes, and you've got a place to sleep.
Yes, but they're elven sounds and therefore worth listening to.
Depends on if you do it in Draconic or Elven.
Both.
Could just be little growls and clicks.
Yeah.
Or maybe rubbing two leaves together. You know, like the old Aussie classic.
On a high elf?
Well, it could be high for a completely different reason. Eucalyptus.
It's culture.
Yes. Like kombucha.
I'm allergic to kombucha.
So
Damn.
I'll do the introductions this time. So we're starting off with Jeremy. So basically introduce your character, anything that major that has changed for everyone else to notice, and the highlights of your 44 weeks away.
Okay, well, Pedadia, the...
About a year and a half. Yeah.
Yes, Pedonir, the
Well, level 6. Yeah.
no,
clansman of the Atruaghin clans that
Half-Horse
had
one?
What was that?
stepped
Hit
away
points
from
is
the
half-Horse.
clan for a while.
Yeah, or average round up, same thing.
The spent time in Darrakan, readjusting and finding out what was happening in the world after he's been effectively away for a few months.
Mm-hmm.
And then his investigations and interests took him back to Atruaghin. He undertook further studies and revelations.
And has become a shaman.
Well,
Well, technically, all Rheddrians are shamans.
Yeah, but he's a real one.
He's a better one.
Yeah, he's a trained one rather than instinctive.
So he's picked up some more spirituality from Atruaghin and his fellow Pantheon.
And now he actually remembers what his 3 spirit animals are.
Hey, I always knew what mine was. And I knew the clan, sort of.
Sort of.
Well,
He just kept skipping the tribe.
he paid more attention to actually what's been going on in the clans and the tribes. And so, yes.
So
Spent his time wandering around and learning things that he probably should have learned when he was young, and now he's way old, so therefore that counts as young, doesn't it?
yeah. It
He's
cycles
coming at it
round.
from the other way.
It cycles round.
That's right, he's
Yes.
coming at it from the other direction.
Yes. So so now you're a man of the Atruaghin rather than just a man of your clan.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not a man of the Atruaghin. He's now considered an elder. And
Well, that too.
And he's now excluded from all of their tribal wars. He's too old.
That's a bonus.
You mean I get no fun?
No, you don't get any fun. That's the thing that you're supposed to have grown up by now.
You get to go adventuring.
I mean, probably I'm supposed to go and helping to make certain the wars don't get too
Well,
bloody.
Well,
yes.
Most of the wars that they have are about claiming partners from one of the other tribes, be either male or female.
Yeah.
So the tribe that's at war is the one that has the most marriage ceremonies that year.
Yeah. Yes. Or nicking some of their animals for food.
And oddly enough, you were saying about the fact that you'd picked up more ability to understand what we find and things like that. Well, Atruaghin also
Mm-hmm.
has blessed Parody with that sort of capability
Cool.
when he wishes it. So,
So Stefan.
Oh dear. Well, Tyler's been busy heading home and trying to train at home.
Apparently you got great flute accompaniment to it.
Been trying to help his master, or trainers, whatever you want to call them, with training other people and stuff as well. Got more renown in terms of the different religious institutions around there.
So you've been mentoring.
He got paid for it too.
Yep. And yeah, lots of training, lots of monkey wonky stuff, and that's about it.
You've been
I
training
think.
to be a monkey.
Yeah, preferably chimpanzee, but I was thinking gorilla.
Do you think that's offensive to a gorilla's classifying them as monkeys?
Maybe.
Might as well call them orangutan.
That's a point too. He's a water genasi. If he picks up air powers from something or other, does he get carbonated?
Yeah, combination, the cantrip.
Yeah.
And I actually
goes
do
fizz.
have a special secret craft about combining the elements.
Cool.
But you can only get that if you're managing to quest for one of the other elements. Which means you've got to have one to begin with.
Yes.
Okay, so then we get round to Eve.
I'm Rogar, the Dragonborn Sorcerer. I'm not too familiar with what happened last week, so I.
So your character's been spent a lot of time on downtime drinking and having fun.
We basically finished off what we were doing before and then had 44 weeks worth of
I
downtime.
know we had 4, but I don't know what you guys.
You're a year older, pretty much.
Yeah,
Doing it
learning
again. I haven't
things,
been
training.
doing it.
We came back to Darrakan. We informed the client
Yep.
of what we found,
You all got
And-
notoriety for completing a
exactly,
You all got what,
and
sorry?
we
Now, people know we're good at
Reputation.
adventures.
and we
Yes.
told him that he can go back and reclaim the place because he has servants now.
Yes, we
And we
told
checked
the
with the servants, they're fine with him taking them on as his servants.
Oh.
And he's fine with doing so.
These
How
are the
Because-
undead ones. That,
Yeah.
We gave them the choice, explicitly gave them the choice, because if we didn't, they would effectively have been slaves. Because they're bound to the place.
well, no, they were bound
Yeah.
to follow someone
Yeah,
who was in
sorry,
command when
the-
they were dead.
Yes.
So technically, they wouldn't have to follow the
Who were in
leaders.
command in their previous life.
That's okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're-
Yeah.
Before they died.
Yeah, but not when they died. Yeah,
Yeah.
prior to dying, yes. So yeah, so technically they wouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily have to follow his orders, but they also
yeah.
somewhat in a position of recognising that, well, if they were to go out in the wider world, they may not be welcome.
Yep. The
Because
young,
hey, they think accidents can happen when you accidentally electrocute everything you touch.
What about
Yes.
the great shock?
yes.
And shocking results.
Yes.
Cool. Well, then in the last half year, I have been spending my time researching the giants, or attempting to, and trying to develop like my spell skills.
Okay, so yes, you were a 6th level sorcerer.
Woo.
Drew,
I remember what I was doing.
you remember? That's a bad thing. What were you doing?
Weren't you cursed?
Yeah, of course.
Was that the flying to the gnome city?
That was cool, but I came back. I'm pretty sure about
You
that.
did.
No, over the past 3/4 of a year, I have been investigating this adornment and developing my connection with that which gave it to me. And I have formed a bit of a bargain with it after a while, in a kind of theft sort of way, where I maybe tricked it, maybe I'm tricked, I don't know, there's a power struggle there, and I developed my...
He just wants to make him feel you were doing well. He hates being guys.
I gathered, and this is okay, if this is okay with the GM, noting what I said beforehand about evil and bad people. But I found someone who was a bad person. And through some careful manipulation of fate and a carelessly abandoned bucket, led to their demise and death.
What's your wisdom?
So they died at your hands?
So
Technically,
you're saying the bucket wasn't actually abandoned, it was just in the wrong place.
it
They
was
accidentally tripped over it.
it was in exactly the right place. 12.
It was abandoned.
12. And developed the skills of a warlock. So I think we need to hash that out a little bit more.
You want to take a level of
I
warlock?
want to take a level of warlock.
That is fine.
Okay.
Though you do also, something that may not be explained in 5th edition, everything is class level based.
Yeah, I'm
So-
reading it now.
So
Yeah.
a lot of the advancement you don't get by taking separate classes. So things that you would normally get at say 4th or 5th or 6th level is 4th or 5th or 6th class level, not character level.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
aware of
pretty
this.
well how it's always.
So
I'm aware of
Oh,
this.
no.
not always. There
Things-
are certain tier stuff.
Like things
Oh,
like
there's tier-related things.
Ability boost, increase, stuff like that. With
Yeah.
based on character level. Not
Yes.
No, on this year based on
Yeah,
class level.
gaining,
Previously,
gaining,
they were based on character
gaining
level.
ability
Yeah,
levels
that's
or
right.
gaining feats and things
That's
based
right.
on class level. Understood. Yep.
And
Completely agree. That's okay. I can zop things with my
That's
fingers.
okay. I was just letting you know so you're aware of it because it's not a common. It's a misunderstanding by a lot of people in 5th edition that it's like.
I haven't multi-classed yet, so this is going to be a learning experience. So let's do this.
It also,
Yeah,
means,
so
it
I'm
also
happy
means
with
if I heal you, it's probably going to
Okay.
reach.
So it would be most likely the if you're taking it from the person on you, it'll be the fiend one.
Yes.
Themed.
I'll have to look up where that one comes from so I can
I have
pass
to write
it
a
to
bunch
you.
of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Themed.
Lucky I picked up protection from good and evil in my.
I'm not an evil person.
No.
Well, the thing is, there is, as far as I'm concerned, from a player's perspective, getting it from a fiend means just one of the demons or devils, all that sort of stuff.
Well,
And
I didn't
goes
really get to
perfectly
choose
fine.
it. It chose me.
Yeah.
If you're happy with that, I'll dig it out. Make sure you're happy with it after looking at it, and if not, we
I-
can figure something else out.
Yeah.
Martin,
This one.
I know I'm not going to be happy with it.
And it is like Blaze Temple.
It is going to
Yeah,
be a
but
thing.
just
It's going to be
try it.
bad.
Try it.
I've
No,
just
no,
looked
no,
at
no.
many
As in,
of
it's
them,
gonna
so I
be-
just checked.
Yeah.
It's. I mean,
Yeah. Read.
yeah. It's not going to be a happy time.
No.
But then again, not every story needs to end happily.
It'll be an opportunity for character development.
Absolutely. I mean, personally, I like as a player, hilarious.
It also it
As
does
a character, oh dear,
it does
not
mean,
again.
It does mean as a warlock you get access to fireball.
Yes.
Worst things could happen.
Yeah. Okay, he's got to get to 5th level to get access.
I could get a second axe, and that would no.
Yeah, that would be.
So, what's the chance of your character dying in game?
Hi.
What's your chance of staying dead in the game? Very low.
I
Unless,
have,
of course, you give yourself over to a fiend.
I have Revivify now. Just in case someone
So
gets
you
themselves
can always
a bit
ask
dead.
Stefan about how dying is not the worst part that happens to your character.
Hmm.
Coming back is the worst.
Because every character believes in a god, and when they die, they get to speak to their god,
Hmm.
They're
and
usually
that
pissed.
determines what happens to them.
They're not usually happy with you.
Well, you've died. You've seen them early. They hadn't made their appointment with you, and you've just rocked up, making them deal with you.
Exactly.
You'd be annoyed if someone just shows up on your
Well,
doorstep.
I mean,
and
I
demands
would
you
appear in the. I mean, assuming that assuming the fiend is actually lawful. I would
Maybe.
appear. I would probably appear on the stand, and it says, "All right, the charges are grand larceny and theft of divine power."
demon, not devil.
Yeah.
So chaotic.
Yeah, which one? The fiend is.
And it is a fiend, but it's a chaotic fiend.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yes, it does
Fiend-
specify
fiend-
really powerful ones. So.
Fiend represents a something from the lower planes,
No,
Mm.
but in this case, most of the entropic immortals are considered fiends as well.
Can I steal their stuff?
You can steal this,
Done.
You can try.
but doesn't mean that
they can let you believe you've stolen it.
I'll be the best thief ever.
it doesn't mean that what you've stolen won't come back to haunt you.
Eh,
Yes,
that's a future me problem.
A Fey Warlock rogue would be a nice combo.
That's at least weeks away.
Weeks! Oh, weeks!
Whole weeks.
Yes!
Yes. Ideals. We have no limits. We can reach the infinite in time if we only put our minds to it.
Mm.
So
Or someone else's.
Yes. At light speed. Yes, I am Plural,
Turbo
the
catastrophe.
Celestial Warlock Elf Party Pretty Boy, and especially now we don't have the Barbarian.
Well, he did start the first episode oiling himself up and wrestling in front of all the ladies who catcalled him.
Yes.
It turns out he found out that in his tribe, the ladies were the ones who actually picked up, and the guys had to make themselves look pretty.
Mm.
And he made himself look pretty, so he was advertising he was ready for a dating thing, which generally meant they hunted you down and dragged you to their tent.
I'm
for
sorry,
some
what
time.
did I miss?
This was the
No, this-
introduction
this-
of one of the
this is
characters.
backstory.
First
Sorry, I
This
forgot.
character
I've also been.
backstory from the
Sorry, I forgot. I've
Yeah.
also been travelling, and I come back with a severe haircut.
one. Severe haircut.
Like a mullet?
No, like a half-shaved kind of thing with a part.
So someone shot you with a lawnmower.
So,
Whole thing. Yes, I've been doing much learning and study and research, and I've learned more about how to do dragon things. I've learned a lot about how to do elf high magic, including some spells for it, which I've got to get, and learning more about the magic stick that I picked up.
And so I have a bunch of things that people have learned. So what they've learned about Alfheim, because they're so close, is Alfheim's been having trouble with dwarves known as the Thorns.
Right.
Teenage angsty dwarves.
No gold.
The entire pile of them who rush into Alfheim on a regular basis to beat up the elves.
Oh, that lot. Right.
And then
Not
they-
related to me, are they?
What was that?
Not related to me, are they?
No, these are the ones who actually have clans.
Oh, okay.
So, completely
Yeah.
different.
Entirely and utterly different people who are the same.
And then they also were able to report that an artifact the
you
previous
say that
year was
for-
recovered safely. It was never really stolen. It was all perfectly fine. That's all
Right.
they want to talk about. But it's all
Okay.
safely back and nothing wrong with it. Nothing to see there. Move along, sort of thing.
Sounds perfectly reasonable.
Yes.
He
You'd
said-
imagine
he
that they
says
didn't
not
advertise
believing
it
it.
was lost until it was recovered. That severe?
That's pretty severe.
I'm thinking kind of.
Does he look
Shadow-
like that now, though?
I'm thinking kind of Shadowrun,
Yep.
sort of punk.
So you don't have cogs in there as well?
Shaved into the.
I was thinking
into
maybe
the short.
maybe dermal implants so it could actually like appease it.
Well, you can actually be slightly shifted into being a fiend.
What's I'm thinking is like
Though
I'm not actually a tiefling.
It's basically a life per inch.
I can alter self, right?
I was
Okay.
gonna say you might be a bit off-putting to other NPCs in the world.
Yeah. Just a bit.
Just a little bit. But
But as a PC, you expect that.
Not
anyway.
everyone can steal power from a giant fan.
one of the big news out there
Hey
is
Orcus, give me that.
Alphatia has proclaimed Galantry to be using forbidden magic and declared open season on any mage who has studied in Galantry.
Am I from Galantry?
Are you a mage?
You're not a mage and you never studied
I
there.
could move there.
So one of the biggest empires in the world has declared war on neighbouring country to you right now.
I mean, that's pretty normal, isn't it?
No. It's basically the equivalent of America saying to Canberra, stop, we don't like what you're doing. We want you to stop that now.
America
So they
versus.
were actually previously allies? effectively,
No,
or
they
just-
were previously
They're just neutral.
They were neutral.
Yeah,
they
that's
have
right.
had hostilities in the
Yeah.
past,
Yeah.
but this is the first time that a
That's
worldwide
right. I mean,
message has
it's
gone out.
basically, yes. Technically, Alphatia and Galantry are effectively world superpowers.
Well, Galantry is
Is
not a
there-
superpower. Galantry is the equivalent of a minor power.
Well-
Theatus is a superpower.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
America.
sorry, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
I was
America
right.
versus Liechtenstein.
No, I wouldn't say Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein with magic.
Blimey.
But the point is, okay, yes, Galantry's not a superpower, but it's certainly a power in our neighbourhood.
I love the realpolitik lads.
Okay, so and that was something that had been done last year. So it didn't make the rounds when it happened, but it's basically something you guys have picked up on in your circles. In the Atruaghin tribes, while you've been there, so one thing you got to find out was the Horse Clan had completed a successful year and pretty much increased their number of tribesmen.
Worst clan, best clan.
Through their, it was the first time that clan has been to a clan war for a while. It's also the last time a clan goes to war before all the clans go to war.
Hmm.
And when all the clans go to war, they don't war with each other. They war with the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not.
Just in time for me to be a hero of them.
Yes.
And it has not happened in anyone's lifetime, including an elf.
Yes.
What, even mine?
Yeah. That's
Even someone as old as me?
yeah, that sort of thing is one of the reasons why they're up on a bloody platform with a lift, restricting their movements.
Well, up until they were lifted up there, they were not. They were sort of warlike, but they weren't well regimented and trained.
No,
now they've
warlike
had
nomad.
generations of training in their entire cultures about war,
Hmm.
and they deal with each other in clan wars, in small little engaged skirmishes. So now they've actually talking about how it's only a couple of years off before they go and invade the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, that's discussed in clan, not out of clan. As one of the clan leaders, you get to hear about how you're only, what year is it now? It is 5 years off the clan war,
Oh, surely I'll be dead by then.
which is why they're discussing it, because some of them wish to live that long to see the first real big clan war.
Oh, goody.
There's a point too.
It's been fated for a long time.
It was my birthday in that 44 weeks.
Everyone's birthday should have been in that 44 weeks.
It would have been likely in the 44 weeks, because remember, a year is
Yeah.
only 48 weeks.
I've forgotten.
52 in this one.
Yeah.
So
So
no,
yes.
it's 48 in this
It's
one.
going to take
48 in
12
this
months.
one.
Yeah, 12 months.
Right.
48 in this
So
one.
right. So it is a year.
Okay.
Yes. I
Because you went far into the because it puts you in at the end of winter each time you advance the timeline,
right.
which is so it will be the first or the third month.
Yeah, so that's when you first sent out the message saying, oh yeah, it's been 44 weeks. I thought, sure, it's been 44? It's almost the whole year. It is. And I was thinking, I'm sure we spent more time than that travelling around to get up to the castle and things like that.
And so another thing you
it's
can
going
comment
to be
on is the tribe had many successful ventures, and you had many. You had many ceremonies you had to perform because the D tribe is your personal tribe.
Yes, absolutely.
So you were also given veneration as one of the sages of the land,
And one of their ancients.
and you are also known as a hero of Atruaghin, specifically D tribe, D clan. So the I clan now claims you as one of their members.
Okay. Out of curiosity, as part of that process, did you get given back the ceremonial pipe, herbs and shaman's headdress and regalia that he found in the Atruaghin's temple?
Did you want them back?
Not specifically.
In which case, then no.
Okay, happy with that. Who walked away from there? Hang on.
No, you'd be wearing them if you were there for one of their big ceremonies.
You'll be expected to make your own headdress based on your 3 totems.
Right, so that will make it actually change to appropriate to the
Requires you to take
the clan and the tribe of you.
Step 1, collect 3 heads.
Yeah.
Well, it's up to him if he tells you what his totems are.
What are your totems?
Step 2, knit a dress.
Out
Combine the
of
two.
totem animal hair.
Combine them.
Do you remember your totems, Jeremy?
I do.
Are you
Okay.
willing to divulge?
Which means
It's just
I've actually had a
three.
birthday.
It's just 3 halfling heads in a dress.
For the first time in half a decade.
Okay, so the next thing you pick up is the Owl tribe is the one that is currently going this year of the
Elk tribe for descendants.
The Owl tribe
One
of
is
the Owl
rabbit
I was
clan.
going to say, yes,
Invasive.
Elk clan is Elk tribe.
There will be the Owl tribe of the Owl tribe of the Owl clan is in ascendance, and there will be no full clan until all the clans are gone. It actually took a lot of maths to sort out exactly where everything went.
Yep.
And in the end, I threw the maths away and just put la and then
What
backdated everything.
what worked good?
Oh dear.
No, it was about 5 hours of maths that didn't work out properly.
It's not giving me the answer I want. Therefore, I'm going to start with the answer and work backwards.
That's what I did. And it worked perfectly fine when I did that.
The wording of prestidigitation says that you can create an object
Mm-hmm.
that lasts for 1 round until the end of your next round.
Yeah.
And it doesn't specify anything more about that.
It would have to be equivalent of a non-magical item.
And it
Yeah.
probably also says
And about this way.
or
Yeah,
one
absolutely.
pound or
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if I have prestidigitation,
Yeah,
but I
you can
don't
throw rocks
have
at
the
people.
don't have the appropriate spell component, I can prestidigitate the spell component and then cast a spell next round.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't have a material cost.
And well, but it's
Yeah.
also the sort of
As
thing
long as
that,
it doesn't cost anything. That's right.
but it's also
But I can
remember-
prestidigitate basically anything. It says so.
Yeah, but is it an
But it
item?
only lasts immediately for 1 round.
That's right.
Yeah,
But,
but-
is it an item?
And I,
So you
Yeah.
may not be able to prestidigitate a bunch of herbs.
You can do a
A
sprig of herb.
leaf.
A sprig of herb.
give me a moment. Hang on.
You can
hang
do
on.
that.
Let me
So,
read
but
it.
it may
Let
not
me read it
work
out.
for.
Let me read
Yeah,
it.
it may not work for all of you.
Let me read it out.
The thing is, it's still valid because you can do. I'm going to prestidigitate a small bag of the required herbs
Yeah.
for the spell.
It says you create a non-magical trinket or an illusionary image that can fit in your hand and
Yep.
last until the
Trinket,
until the end of your
which
next turn.
Means it
So a
doesn't have to
trinket
be a
could
single
basically
item.
be anything.
I mean,
Even
yeah.
if it could also be
Yeah.
it could be, say for example, you need a 50 gold piece jam.
I wouldn't say
You could make a
no.
trinket. It only lasts for a very short
Yeah,
period of time.
as
So
Martin
it's
said,
enough.
if it's got an actual specified GP cost,
Yeah,
and this happened in AD&D 2.
that's right.
If it's an actual GP cost, you actually have to have the item. But you can prestidigitate anything else. Which means
quite
I-
happily, you
which
can
means
quite
I
make a
can't-
black guano for your fireball.
Yeah, because
But you can't do a
otherwise,
diamond for your, or a
Yeah.
pearl for your identify spell.
or
Based on the old edition.
yeah,
No?
or a 300.
It's a trap that that was an easy fix for in older editions of the game.
As I said,
And if
AD2
people
came up.
didn't actually know the rules,
Yeah.
people were starting to roll it and go, here, look, and then they had to point out that they had to make it so it didn't bypass the wealth limitation of just I've left the continual flame on everything and sell it for.
Yeah, because otherwise resurrections would be free.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
It just means that it takes 2 rounds.
yeah.
that's the-
Revivify. I prestidigitate a 300 GP diamond.
Exactly.
No.
And then you use it.
But I mean, the main thing about prestidigitation is you can't
Well,
have monetary
the-
value really.
Well, the main thing with
Didn't say that.
prestidigitation is
In
it's a
old versions it
trinket.
did, but not this one.
No, it's a trinket.
Exactly.
It has been described as the item you create has no real worth. Is worth like a
So you can
copper.
create the equivalent of anything within that 100 trinket page
Exactly.
for random items you can start
Page
with.
160.
Mm. Yeah.
Which admittedly has some interesting
Or you can
items
create
on
an
There are
illusionary
some-
version of anything else.
Yes. I can create an illusion of a 300 GP diamond and then make an illusion of you being resurrected.
They are your non-magical trinkets as described by the game,
Yeah.
using the word trinket.
it.
Well,
Okay.
a representative.
There are some interesting ones in there, like a gemstone that looks like a lump of coal when examined by anyone but you.
Yes.
There you go.
That's what I want.
I.e., it's a lump of
Well,
coal.
yeah, but the thing. Well, no, the thing
Beauty
is,
is in the
no,
eye of the beholder.
that could actually become a story item later.
A 1 ounce block made from an unknown material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still worthless.
Okay. The idea of it certainly, it's not the, and I actually will actually get around
Yeah.
monetary value.
Yeah.
The idea is to stop the, I make this item, I give it to the person, I get the money and I run off, and then it disappears.
Yeah.
I mean,
You totally do that.
possibly the other way you could look at it, did
Yeah,
you
other
pay
things that are
3.5
better.
much at all?
It takes more than
If you
a
consider the fact that, okay, you could use
Cantrip to do
prestidigitation
that.
in the same way that 3.5 had defeat issue materials.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like basically it covered that.
Yeah, and that,
Random
that
stuff
and
that
that
was-
specifically
A
also
vial of dragon
said,
blood.
if it costs money, you got to carry
That's
it.
material component.
So that,
Yeah.
if it states a cost, you need to actually provide it yourself. It doesn't state
Yeah.
a cost, but it's just flavor, then your
But yeah,
precipitation
as you
will
said,
replace it.
eschew materials
And
is
you
the
got to
same.
also look at all those rules about the vial of dragon blood. Again, you could read that as, yes, you have a vial of what you absolutely swear is dragon blood. No one else will believe it.
But the thing is, if the spell just says vial of dragon blood, it's valid. If the spell says a 5 GP vial of dragon blood, that's a different
Yes,
thing.
so that is my catch on that. If it doesn't
Yeah.
have a gold piece
Yeah.
value, you can
It's-
replicate it.
Yeah, yeah, and as I said, it's been a rule since forever.
I know I've used it since forever.
Yeah,
For that reason.
because people with prestidigitation always do that.
But it's a very cool
They do.
way of having SQ materials.
That's right, that's right. I like it as a good concept, actually.
Yeah.
I should have taken thaumaturgy for the cleric.
The downside is that you need to cast it the round before you cast
Yeah,
your spell.
Yeah, which means
Exactly,
you
which is the pay.
it takes
which is
which
the
is the
penalty.
penalty.
It turns it,
Takes
makes it
2
into a
rounds.
makes it into a 2
But
round
it does
spell.
mean
Yeah.
that if someone takes your spell pouch from you mid-combat, you can
You
still
can-
use your magic.
Exactly.
it also means you can use your prestidigitation to get it back.
And I'm not above doing that either.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's true. A
that,
spell component pouch could be a.
so that was what you
trinket.
heard about from Atruaghin.
Yep.
Yeah, in
Or-
Darrakan. You've heard of a new sculptor in Darrakan City has been impressing the critics.
Cool.
The most lifelike statues ever.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
army,
what are
to
they?
the army
Right.
to the north is looking for recruits, dealing with orcs in the Broken Lands. Giants to the east, they put up a flyer looking for people to investigate it.
Mm-hmm.
Only heroes of the realm need apply, which is where the downtime comes in handy.
Yes.
Then you've got the Dungeon of the Mad Maze was discovered last year, and they have successfully cleared the first level called the Dungeon level,
Cool.
which they've called the Dungeon level.
I'll have to read
What's
up
the
on that.
level below called?
They
Play.
haven't named it yet, no one's come back.
No, they've actually they've opened recently opened it up. It took them 3 months to break the seal and get through.
Hmm.
And it's called and they've named it the Arcane Chambers.
Right.
Whether it is actually arcane or not remains to be seen, but...
Arcane just means hidden. It was behind a 3-month long lock. It's pretty hidden.
Not very original
Yeah.
if you think about it.
No. Well, yeah, they were only adventurers.
Well, it wasn't an adventurer who named it.
Oh.
It was a scribe.
Yeah, scribes. You need a bard for that sort of thing. Get a good name going.
The bards were busy.
Are the bards ever busy?
They were drinking.
They're up north and east
Yes.
looking at the York and the Tyne.
This is why you pay them in whiskey.
And there's lots of talk about the heroes of Selenica getting what they deserved because they were hung recently.
Hanged.
Is there an adventure in that, or does everyone just cheer?
They were a bunch of heroes who went around murder hoboing a bunch of elven children.
All right,
Ugh.
cheer, cheer.
And their go-to was if anyone threw something at them, they would kill them.
I
Right.
mean, at least they
So-
have principles.
So, well, look at it this way. Someone threw a balloon of confetti at them, so I declared that a kill. Because he said anything, absolutely anything thrown at him, he would kill them.
So he killed a child for throwing
And there was much
a
rejoicing.
balloon of lit. Yeah.
And the entire party got killed because they were backing him up.
Oh,
So I believe that the term
Right, so if
heroes is definitely in quotation marks.
yes. So if we go to that town and talk nice to the locals, we might get all their loot.
No, they were hung in Darrican City after a 2-year trial.
Oh,
2 years, right?
bugger, which means someone sold all
What
the
the
stuff to
hell's
cover the
that?
costs.
I know they awarded all their gear to the elves of the village who they'd wiped out their entire generation, so
Ooh.
they've lost 90 years of children.
Okay, I want to go and resurrect these guys so I can kill them again.
Well, I said they wiped
I
out.
thought you were talking about the old for a moment.
Oh, just resurrect the other. But no, yeah.
And that the person that they were supposed to rescue and save went off with the bad guy because the bad guy wasn't actually killing any of her people.
He was a bad guy.
So do you know the module Rheddrian?
No.
Jeremy knows that module. And so they actually
So
went
they
and
broke the module
Oh, no,
by
they-
doing it backwards.
No, they basically the module has it starting off that the children of the village are in a temple where they spend their youth learning, and they're called the Siswa.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Siswa had been taken over by a human cleric and dominated. They've been told this. And the village that they were delivering a wedding present to, the person they were delivering it to was in danger from this person and had already captured other maidens from the village.
Right.
She basically went with them to the place to try to rescue her people. The Siswa tried to knock them out with stun grenades, so bottles that would shatter and put them to sleep. So they then started butchering them, and they butchered them on sight from then on. And they ended up butchering the other maidens I was supposed to save.
Right.
And so when Rheddrian had a chance to slip away from them, she did.
Mm-hmm.
Joined up with the cleric who said he'll find a way to bring all her people back. Because he is a cleric. And she's been helping him bring her people back.
Cool.
And he was the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, now he's got functional control of a village because they're willing to let him.
He was obviously the lesser of two evils.
And so that
Yes.
was why
he was he was the smaller bug.
So a group of paladins were sent out after the heroes after that.
Mm-hmm.
They were known as the heroes of Selenica because they were offering a reward to the heroes if they showed up and then arresting them. You don't call them the villains of Selenica and offer them a reward because they don't show up.
No. You're a hero. Brilliant. Now we execute you.
Yeah. So they got executed as the heroes of Selenica.
Hmm.
And that was one of the major Darrican cities.
Yes.
The one closest to Karamikos and Ularum.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the big news from Darrican. Ethinger had some noise come out of it. Last year was the bumper year of horse breeding.
Mm-hmm.
It was also the year of the horse.
Fair enough.
And the Khan had decreed no border wars that year because he didn't want to risk the mares or the stallions. So it is the a boom year for them. And
But hey, this year they're on the march because they've been all anxious for the last year, not been able to go and hit things.
They also
Yes.
spent. It's also been over a year since the Ice Shield Orc migrated north of of the Ethengarians, and haven't been seen since.
Right.
And the Ice Shield Orcs are something that not many of you know about. But it's a big enough thing to talk about that that's an interesting point.
So the orcs were going which way in the
That's yeah.
North.
Going
yeah.
north from Ekandar or into Ekandar?
North from Ethengar, with the assistance of the Ethengarians.
Yes, it was interesting enough that it's worth actually doing some research on.
The fact that the Ethengarians help some orcs is odd. The fact that they're called Ice Shield Orcs is also odd because neither of those are terms that you're used to.
Well, Ice Shield is, well, it's kind of about where it's cold.
Whereas
Yes.
from Rogar has heard of them. They belong to the Northern Reaches Orcs, and they were displaced by the Giants. Their entire civilization destroyed.
How are they displaced exactly? Like, what's the history behind it?
Well, the Giants destroyed every one of their cities.
Any particular reason as far as we know?
They're Giants. You
Not
hate
the
Giants. Giants hate you.
Giants just don't like people that aren't giants.
Did they go
Like-
through just smashing and then they continued on their way?
There is no knowledge of what actually happened except for the orcs had to flee their homes. Everyone fled with what they could carry. It wasn't an orderly retreat.
So they're home in the Broken Lands?
Their home in the Northern Reaches, on the eastern side of the Ethengar.
Okay.
So that was a mass migration which the world hasn't seen for a while.
Where are they fleeing to at this point, as far as we're aware?
Towards the dragon's home.
Oh.
As far as how it goes so
The
far,
Worm's Teeth Mountains.
north out of Ethengar. So where's next after that, really?
They actually passed through the Haldanic territories, which is one of the most religious German-ish style areas of the world, and they were convinced to let them pass, even though the Ethengarians had helped them.
So the Haldanic Knights also allowed them through.
Yeah, and the Haldanic Knights are constantly at war with the Ethengarians over beliefs. They both believe the other people don't deserve to live.
Yes.
Who could have convinced them to do that?
Technically, it was the party on Friday night.
PCs did it.
That's the repercussions of a party action.
Yes.
Some of the things that come up, actually party members did.
Yes. Oh, one thing I did find out about these
Hang on, we're all in the
staff
same world,
spear
aren't
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you say a bunch of motor hobos got killed,
They were
Yeah.
PCs.
The Wednesday night group. The entire group got
They got themselves
removed
whacked.
from the game.
huh?
I got that vibe from how you were saying it.
Was it
but
Martin's fault?
No, he wasn't in that group. He joined that group because it was complete group wipe, and most of the group walked off because they wanted to murder Hobo.
Right.
Whoops.
They said they wanted to go onto the main campaign, went onto the main campaign, and just murder Hoboed everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that eventually you went up against Rheddrian
Yep.
and got the shield. That's the one where they're the group who burnt the keep down and basically tried to kill everyone.
Right.
So I basically had them backdated to being captured before then and
Mhm.
thrown in jail. So
Right.
you could actually do the quest that they had screwed up badly.
Why'd they want to just murder Hobo?
Because
'Cause
as
they're
far as I was
assholes.
concerned, that was how they played the game. You might have to put that on mute. They're just going to
So what have we done that has appeared in other games?
Well,
We're not notable enough.
there is a book.
There's a book.
So the book turns up in other games that this
Yeah.
time, though.
It is a book that's handed out to various people.
Not just other game, like other genres.
Sorry,
So,
your
out
face
of,
was
out of
worth it.
context, how
Pretty
does
sure it's in
that come
Pathfinder.
across? How does that read?
Up until I give the details, Stefan's just nodding along, and then you can see Stefan's eyes sort of narrow a bit. That look of
You're in these other games, right?
Yeah,
What about the games you're not in?
they're probably there too, I imagine.
the other one. The ones he's not in are Pathfinder ones, so
Yeah,
they're only in the D&D ones.
But do they put it down in the Pathfinder one?
I think it was lightly mentioned in the Pathfinder one. More a jib at me than anything else, I think.
And so yes, things that you do will impact them, and things that they do will impact you. So story choices they make will make things harder for you or easier for you. which is why I'm advancing some games faster than others. So at the moment, this group is still one full game year behind the other group on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're dead now.
Well, they are two.
Not
No,
all of them.
they got rebuilt, and the current group is 1 year ahead. And on the Friday group, they are 2 or 3 years behind. So the fact
Behind
that
us or behind Wednesday?
behind you.
So we're incredibly average.
Yeah.
Mediocre.
We're amazingly average.
Well, not compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
True. We stand
Okay,
out.
so back to the things that have been happening in the world. In Karamikos, last year something bad happened to the annual gnome caravan that ended the tradition. They used to take their stuff to the city of Speculum from Highforge,
Okay.
and it was their year's worth of products sold in an annual market.
We got a flat tire.
And someone nicked it.
And the caravan's gone, the tradition's ended, and the
Everyone got a flat tire.
and basically
Yeah.
Highforge is on the decline.
Mm. So we could, if we could get the contents of their caravan
That
back,
happened over a year ago.
it's someone they can't have got rid of all of it by now.
Well, no. So the point is, Karamikos is looking for the new caravan to arrive about now, or
Yeah.
at least a caravan to arrive.
And they've chosen not to renew because they weren't stolen; they were destroyed.
Oh,
All the gnomes killed.
ah,
The
Well,
vehicles
bugger.
that they had built that the caravan was made out of
Mm.
had taken them 10 years to build each.
ooh,
They were gone.
So who... Do we know who did anything?
No one knows.
I say we do that.
Where was
Um,
it? The
Extract vengeance on the
What's
gnome
it?
assailants.
sounds
what's
fair.
the name of the place which is now suffering consequences?
That's terrible. Why would you destroy the economic...
Rocco?
why would you
Rocco
destroy
will
the
get there in a
economic,
moment.
like...
Oh no! But
Without
output,
declaring war
mentioned
first.
that
output
where the
of
caravan
an
is going
entire...
to-
Oh, no, it was going to Speculum.
Gnomish people.
The
Speculum.
capital of
Okay.
Karamikos.
Nick
That is where they sell
Yeah.
everything.
Well, maybe they did, but...
Yeah, no, it was destroyed exclusively.
Yeah, that's stupid. Let's
It's
go
a
on.
stupid
Let's
thing.
smash that up.
Someone's
take exactly-
being so stupid they don't deserve to live.
Yeah.
Plus, think of the books of magic that got whacked.
They
Yeah,
Books
exactly.
of knowledge.
Everything that we could recover.
Half of what the gnomes build are toys for kids.
Yeah!
Oh, even more.
Ah,
That's right. They're toast now.
that's...
They always tend to arrive around late in the year, middle of winter.
Wearing red.
Does your character like children because you have children?
He hasn't never
not
been
like
a child.
not like I had a choice
That's...
in the matter.
Do you
That
like
He's
is
an absent
terrible.
father.
Yep,
We
By
have-
choice?
not really.
I say we go and save the orphanage.
And so the next thing from Karamikos is a group of adventurers went to explore a place only known as the Isle of Dread. The only reason they found out about this was apparently some of them have a drinking problem and told everyone what they were doing before they left.
Is this
Wait.
the same Isle of Dread?
Yep.
This is the actual Isle of Dread, and this is the world that the Isle of Dread...
This one?
No, that's not the Isle of Dread.
Oh no, that's a different island.
That is the Isle no one talks about. This is actually called the Isle of Dread. It has a name.
It's way down south.
So if you've ever heard the Isle of Dread mentioned in Dungeons and Dragons anywhere in history, this is the setting it came from. And it
Right.
actually was first
It's
created
the
here.
X one, like from the blue book.
It was the first Isle of Dinosaurs in Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay.
Like cool, traditional Spielberg dinosaurs or Mexico Bay Age of Extinction
This was
dinosaurs?
whatever dinosaur you feel like, because my dinosaurs are never the same twice.
So the answer is yes.
Yes.
So it was the Lost World type island.
Bayhem?
And
You get there and it's just dinosaurs.
And so obviously, but nothing's heard of those adventurers since at this stage. They were spouting about it before
They're
they
just
left,
too nice,
and
they
now
didn't
they're
want
gone.
to
when they came
Yes.
back, they weren't drunk, so they didn't talk about it.
Oh, so they have come back.
No one knows if they'll come
No,
back.
that's just like
Oh,
a
so
nice
this was your group.
dream.
Yeah.
Dinotopia.
This was literally your
Dinotopia
group.
is the
Okay,
most nicest
we
feature.
have we?
Demetrios has gone.
You could only be
yes,
more
sorry,
90s
yeah,
if
this
they
is
were
why
all
I got
wearing
Demetrios,
denim.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
This is why your character's still ahead.
Yes, okay, happy with that.
So Jeremy was in that group.
They had slap bracelets.
And so the last thing that they have heard about Karamikos is lots of discoveries are surfacing in Karamikos, dating to the Traldarans, the Traldar, and possibly further back.
Okay.
So the Traldarans are a descendant of people called the Traldar. The Traldar are a descendant of people that no one knows about, which is enough for you to actually make links to.
And go, yes, they're... Yeah, actually.
And they have civilization that they're discovering all over the country, dating to things that shouldn't exist.
So is it kind of like the CCP in the South China Sea?
It's more along the lines of their level of technological progression was greater than they have now. So imagine someone having chariots and agriculture when all you ever see them is in huts.
Mm-hmm.
Frustrating.
So they've lost more than they've gained in the current generation.
Right.
And Jeremy comes from the current generation.
Okay.
For his Friday's game.
Or as far as the rest of the world's
Wednesday's
concerned, they've lost more than they apparently have now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you were in the Wednesday's game that got killed?
No. I was in the Wednesday game that my character was actually not with the group at the time.
It was while he was on hiatus elsewhere.
Convenient.
It was lucky because he would have basically had to go at them himself.
Well, I mean, but you got to remember.
So you
also,
turned up on Wednesday and went,
that
where did everyone
Wednesday
go?
night group was actually also that was running for a long time, specifically with lots of different groups of BCs.
I was teaching them the world.
So like we basically had a party coming from lots of different each world, and then we go back, redo 4 years, go back, do 4 years, go back, do 4 years type stuff.
They sort of suffered a bit from campaign fatigue, but and when I was solving it the way they asked me to, they took it out on me.
Oh.
So.
Is it ever a good idea to take it out in the world?
Well, they took it on me specifically because they were picking things that would trigger me.
Oh.
So taking out of the GM, which is a really bad thing. And very rude.
It happens.
Yeah, I know, but it's still rude.
Okay, so next on to Rockholm, where our gnome heard about stuff. So dwarves are assembling
And I did some
in
research.
Ethingar to assist in their war against Galantry. The Ethingarians are at war with nearly everyone except for the dwarves.
Right.
They tried that, it didn't work.
Let's just complete the circle.
So the dwarves are supporting Ethingar in their working space.
They're training them. They're teaching them how to become a more efficient, deadlier military.
Yeah.
That can't do sieges.
Everyone confuses
So what,
the
definitely?
halfling.
They're not teaching them siege tactics. That's the only tactic that will work against dwarves.
Yeah.
So hang on, so dwarves are training the Ethingarians.
Yep.
I thought the Ethingarians were already pretty good at war, but okay.
They're fantastic at war, but take them off a horse, they're pretty much
absolutely, yes.
useless. And
Yeah.
they're teaching them every strategy except for siege warfare, except for massive siege warfare.
Yeah.
So anything that would work against everyone but them.
Silly dwarves.
Fair enough.
Yes.
And particularly the putting the Ethingarians against Galantry. Is that what you said?
Galantry,
Yes.
they
Making them
they-
spring crossbows.
They had a war that started with Galantry that was never officially ended.
Yeah.
So that one is technically still going.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
And they have a war with the Haldanic, which is never particularly ended, so that one's still ongoing. They have a truce with the dwarves, which is why they're helping them.
Yep.
And they never quite got into a war with the Northern Reaches, even though they do fight each other on occasion. But they both do it for sport.
Yeah.
So it's like punching up your cousin or brother because they speak funny,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's what they do to each other across that border.
They do speak funny.
They do. One of them's really tall, one of them's really short.
Yeah.
The Ethingarians are short in general, and the Northern Reaches people are extremely tall.
Mm-hmm.
So they're basically like Norse blonde hair, blue-eyed people to the perfect horse riders. So it's actually quite amusing seeing the two eye each other off over a battlefield.
Yeah.
Okay, news you got out of... a last thing from Rockholm is a bunch of refugees from some place called Thunder Rift found their way into Rockholm.
Okay.
What are they seeking refuge from?
No one can understand them properly because they don't come from this world.
Good.
Comprehend languages.
They speak the same language, but they don't come from this world. It doesn't make sense to me.
So the stories they're telling don't compute.
What goes in there, yeah.
And because they're telling these to dwarves who aren't very arcane in nature, most
Yeah.
dwarves can't deal with the arcane, and those that do go mad.
Are you happy to discuss
Would you
what
consider
you're
it?
hearing with the party when you catch up again?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So I'll relate this stuff.
and next thing is we move over to Thyatus, the empire that everyone speaks the language of.
Mm-hmm.
So the capital city riot had passed the New Year's celebrations the previous year. That was big news that took a while to get around. There was an actual riot in the capital.
Wasn't me.
What sort of riot?
Well, a riot is pretty out there for that sort of
Do we
country.
know what they were writing over?
No one could get you any information by the time you found out about the riot. The news of the riot is about all you got.
Yep.
You'd have to pretty much dig deeper to find more than
That's
that.
that. Yep.
And I do have links to that news if I need to pull it out. Okay, so
Ah.
then
That was such a heartwarming scene.
the Thayan Empire has told the Athakian Empire, stay out of our region. Any interference at all in our region is not going to be tolerated.
Yes, the eternal war between the celestial and the infernal. The two of us zapping each other with fingertips.
So-
Who's
and as far as I was
Celestial?
concerned,
I'm
their
celestial.
region counts as effectively the known world as far as we're concerned. Yes.
Yourselves personally.
and half of the Isle
Celestial
of
Warlock,
Dawn
Infernal
and,
Warlock.
all
No,
the way down to
you meant
the
in real life.
Oh,
not in
no.
a game. That sounds
we're across from
no.
the Isle of Dread.
No, I
Yeah.
follow.
Isle
No,
of
I'm
Dread
the
is
evil
technically claimed by Thyatus as well,
Yeah.
though they have no landings there.
And is this? Do we know whether this that statement had any connection or relevance to Alvator's statement against? Oh, it was Galaxy, sorry.
Yeah, it was after they'd made the statement about Galandra.
Right. Okay.
There is a merchant looking for a group of adventurers to explore an island off the coast of Thyatus. Dimitri's group took up that quest in this game year.
Yep.
Oh yes.
And the Isle of Dawn is said to have a hidden city, and Thyatus is paying well to have it found and claimed in their name. And basically, no standing with the Empire needed to take the quest for them, as long as you don't speak Alvatian.
I do
Where they
not.
can hear
At
it.
least not in their face.
Oh no, they will basically use magic.
So
But see, if magic doesn't work, then it's torture. It's a Roman Empire.
yeah, and yes, it's not a job I'm going to take.
Okay, and the last one you've got is Yelarum. Last year, Aquesta successfully found the Chameleon Idol, a magical relic in the desert.
Okay.
This year, the questers are trying to find a lost lamp that grants wishes.
Cool.
Every game year, there is a quest to find a different relic in that nation.
As long as you don't try and feature Will Smith in this.
And so people can actually find these items.
So
Orphans, magic lamp.
Orphans.
yeah,
One has more of a...
orphans, magic lamp to do for
Yeah,
that.
but you could rub the magic lamp and say, "I wish the orphans were okay." 2 more wishes. Then I pass it to you.
Yeah, but it's not.
And then you get a go.
Huh?
You get a go too.
No, actually, the first wish is I wish we found this 6 months ago. And we found it. Now we're going to do stuff.
Well, you open your backpack and you go, "Oh, what's this thing?"
Yeah, we had that all along.
Yeah, exactly.
What,
Two-
then
two-
you're like,
it
doesn't
wow,
change
I
the
wish I
time.
knew it
No,
this
2
did.
levels worth of
Doesn't
well,
change the
yeah,
time.
we found this last week, or at least I wish we were actually going to find this yesterday. Oh look, we did find
Remember
this
how I
yesterday.
do
isn't it
wishes?
nice? I know.
25 words or less.
Yes.
I know. I can put a
I've-
pretty
I've-
mean wish in a 25 words.
I wish I was
I've-
not a human being capable of.
Yes, I've done that before.
25 words or less for a week. Okay, can you do it?
I had someone try to
Here's
give
my
me a
fifth sample
10,000
fun one.
word legal document, and I said I'll take the first 25 words.
Hmm?
And then I just,
What is it?
stop there and say that's
Fifth
your wish.
circle of the dragon.
What
Wait,
document was it?
Continuing to.
And they had a legal document on
Never-
wishes that they wrote up because they were a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
And this is what they give their GMs, and I said, sure.
No, I just wonder what template they would have like based it off of.
Well, they did pirate law. They actually did pirate law.
Like
you know,
international. Yeah.
And she
Mhm.
wrote a 10,000 word document, legal document.
Oh,
And she tried to give it
okay.
to me in a game, and I said, I'll take the first 25 words. And she's like, what? But you got to take the whole document. At
No.
what point was that an agreement on my end?
Yeah.
Tamsin's gorgeous. She's amazing.
Oh, she is an amazing person.
Mm.
Get on
She's
the
the
wrong side,
best.
and she's absolutely vicious.
Oh yeah, she's the best.
She killed a PC and then threatened to kill every other PC that person took because she had a beautiful person.
Right.
Yeah, she's a kind of from the roots sort of
It's a
vendetta
game-
person.
Yeah, she's a game breaker.
Game breaker. Yeah.
Mm.
Just basically be careful about things like that because it does make people very suspicious.
She gets a little bit Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
But she played most of it in character.
Anyway,
Are there?
how are we all meeting back up? Like I would think that
You
three
returned
quarters
to
of
Darken City
three
because
quarters of
you-
a year.
Yeah, but we've all been given free accommodation in the one building.
Nah.
and a meeting with
If
the
we
guy
wanna-
who
if we
just
wanna
gave
stay
you
there, we do.
2,000 gold as a down payment
That's
to
right,
meet you
we-
at this date.
Actually, he said, "Hey,
Oh
I'll catch
yeah,
up with
yeah.
you
Come
again
back
here."
here. Come back here at this date. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So hang on, did we spend that? So hang on. So did I spend that 2,000 gold pieces conversing with a demon?
Well, you spent some of it with your training and bits and pieces,
Yes.
Yeah.
but not necessarily all of it.
No.
Well,
I've
I'm
still
wondering
got some
like
left.
what physical
Stefan spent
training
nearly
and
3,000.
what physical
Pardon?
training and
Stefan spent nearly 3,000.
Yeah.
what physical training and
But he's got a kid to pay.
Grandmaster guidance does.
If I can find them.
Yeah, there is that.
I like how you didn't spend the last year trying to
Like
find Trev.
cavorting with a demon who's
Considering
etched
they're
his
able
mark
to
on
both
your,
live in
on
the
your
ocean,
chest.
It's
trying to
still
find them
costly.
across the land is
Is it
hard
costly?
enough.
Yeah,
Then trying
you
to
buy-
search
you
the
buy,
entire
uh,
seas
uh,
is pretty hard.
Arcane and
So
rare
if they
herbs.
Mine
rebuild
just
me to
lived-
find them,
mine
I'm
just
going to
lived
search
well.
the entire ocean.
I just
So
lived well.
maybe
Yeah.
at higher levels when I have better abilities to find them with spells and stuff, maybe. But right now it's
It's
just
a lot of
gonna
money spent
waste
on
4
remove
months.
curse.
Yes.
But it's okay, you didn't actually spend it all. Like I said, the Herder did spend about 1,700 or something out
What
of
does
his.
it cost to level up?
It costs
Isn't it
Costs
like
at
10
least
GP per level per.
100 for level
Yeah.
6 because it was 25.
it was
per week.
100 gold.
Yeah.
100
Oh, really?
gold for
But then you also technically have to spend time finding your trainer, which possibly means spending time getting renowned in an area
Yes.
to look for the thing and things like that. So
Yeah. Well, I
cost
expli-
can increase.
your home
Yeah.
city will train you.
I explicitly went
Well,
for
I
renown
don't know
too.
how they can train me in
Yeah, so did I.
that
Yeah.
bad dude over there.
In which case, then you have to find someone who will teach you how to be a warlock.
I thought it was done through manipulation, guile, and a lot of, like I said, remove curse.
Yeah, someone to stand there and do remove curse while you're doing it,
Exactly.
and mentor you and he concentrate this way. Strictly, I could ask my uncle
I
to
could.
give him a hand.
It's a lot of money in bribes about asking someone about that which we do not talk about.
If you're learning from my uncle, most of the money is going to go in living well because of where you have to live to learn from him.
Who's your uncle?
He's a diplomat here in Darrakan and he's rich as Croesus.
But he probably wouldn't want to teach someone in the ways of the fiend.
Well, there is that.
That's what I was thinking. I had to do this on my own.
And you basically could have contacted your patron and he could have pointed you to someone who would teach you, but yeah, your patron is the person who gives you the mark on your chest.
And
He's the
Yeah,
person
that's
who
what I was
provides
meaning.
you
I was
all
like-
the
and you're
power.
explicitly going for stealing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's
so,
why I'm.
so getting some pointers on how to effectively steal this power through the tattoo on your chest.
oh yeah.
That's what you get from the teaching. So someone who knows what they're doing is worthwhile, and
Okay.
that costs money.
Yeah. Right.
So,
No, I reckon
So
you
is there
find
other-
like
so
a
that-
back
but,
alley
but that's the
hack
thing.
job.
At that
Exactly.
point, yeah, but that means you're actually stealing it. You're not being given the power. You're stealing it. from the-
Precisely.
from
I
the
want
thing.
this to be an adversarial,
Exactly.
resentful relationship.
Yeah.
And-
so
and-
so you're paying a power thief
And
to
every
teach you how to do it right.
and
Yeah.
even if the
Cool, there
demon
you
was
go.
to give you the power, it would be giving it to you resentment. It wouldn't actually ever give you the power because it wants to, because it never wants to give its power away.
Of course not.
So even if it's teaching you, it's teaching you in resentment because it needs something from you.
I want to play an Oakley's finally.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So
Get like 4 or 5
So you
levels
would
of
have
this thing,
spent
go
time
cleric.
becoming a
So it's 100 gold pieces.
hero of Darrakan.
Mm.
Or you could have gone to Galantry and learned how to deal with fiends, because that will teach you. Galantry have no problems in teaching you how to manipulate fiends to your advantage.
As long as you don't
the
do
Galantry
it
are the ones who just declared like
No, the
Kill-
Alphasians just declared war on them.
no, the kill or spellcasters thing.
No, the Alphasians
that's
have declared it on the Galantrians.
saying that the Galantrian spellcasters were
Ah, so
accessing
now
forbidden
that
knowledge.
so if I'm a Galantrian spellcaster by virtue of becoming a
Walla.
Right. So the
So
the Alphatians.
Well, you've
don't-
never studied
But,
there.
but hey,
That's what I'm saying. If you want, those people would teach him how to harness
Yeah.
and steal power from others. That is
Yeah.
what they do.
but you don't have to worry about
That is the
Alphatians.
center of that level of learning.
Research it. If I don't know some lore,
Which
I
is a
know
good
where to
reason
find
for
it.
the
In which
Asians
case,
to
I
go,
know where to
"You
find it.
assholes."
I'll go there.
And Galantry is the place that will have it.
That's right.
Cool.
Particularly.
I guess I
the
spent a
local-
bunch of time in Galantry and talking to shady back alley.
Oh no, they would teach you in the Great School of Magic how to
Talasmongerers.
do this.
Hmm?
They would have a class in stealing power from fiends.
University
in the
study.
classroom.
You're just
Man,
on
I
like
was having-
LexisNexis, basically.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just like, I was trying to be cool, but no. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to do like.
So think of
it's
Hogwarts
gonna
on
be-
no,
steroids.
it's okay. It's all right.
No,
I
no, but
I
think-
attend.
think
I
about it.
attend.
Okay,
I
it's
attend
demons.
power. Yeah.
It's going to be at the university, but it's
Right.
going to be this dingy little room at the back.
It is.
Yeah,
You'd probably
yeah.
be one of
So you-
two or three students.
Exactly.
And
Life- maybe the only one
Right,
survived.
welcome to Life, the Universe, and Everything. Lesson 1: How not to get blowed up.
Yep.
Or no. Lesson 1: how not to get caught. Then we teach you how not to get blown up.
And so you know how you said you sacrificed.
Wait, no, this is Defense of the Dark Arts.
You know how you sacrificed, so you know how you said you were sacrificing one of a very bad person to get ahead.
Is it a bad person? Maybe not a very bad person.
Turns out it was.
Remember,
one
bad
of,
is subjective.
It was one of your
So
fellow
you-
students because he really was a homicidal maniac.
I would say that he was actually bad at his studies, not because he was a homicidal maniac.
Oh no, he was.
He was bad.
I've travelled with some
He was-
homicidal maniacs.
He was bad twice. I'm not homicidal.
He was happy to kill anything and everything to get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're homicidal at
So,
best.
so at that point, it
But-
becomes self-defense.
But of course, you don't have to worry about Alphatia. They're half a world away.
Yeah.
Unless we go and...
Unless we travel by airship.
And so you've been declared a first year student of the Great School of Galantry.
what's my student nickname?
What would you like it to be?
No.
This gives him
You
a,
never get to pick your own nickname.
Okay.
this means he's got a pointer for a noun in Galantry now.
Well,
If he's doing that.
Oh, you'll have more than a point.
that's right.
You'll have- you'll
If
have
he
Oh, no,
spends-
true.
if he
How long
spends
was he
6
there?
months in
You'll
Galantry,
have
so
probably at least 10 points in Galantry.
Whoa!
Because
Everybody knows you're there.
you need to become some level of fame to go into the school.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
so,
Hmm.
I'll note
as
that
you
down
said,
so I
that's
get
where
that later.
it takes him some money to get into the university to get to steal his pieces. So,
Yes.
but as I say, it's good for the party because it means that there spread the renown.
So it's not really defense against the dark arts, offense against the dark arts. How much money does that renown cost me?
Don't worry.
We'll
about
get
it.
to- we'll get that into why
You've
you
got
have-
enough. You've probably got some left over. As long as you're not going to go about buying relics and artifacts.
Anyway, if I'm a collector of names, then I must have a nickname. Also, I grew an inch and got 1.5 kilos fatter.
Becoming more dwarvish. Or just older.
no, each hit
Or
puberty.
aging.
Okay, so the nickname they gave you was Fiendbound. Because you're only a first year student, they say you've got to, if you really want to get a better name, you got to do something a little more
That's
interesting.
kind
Can the MP shorten to Phoebe?
Ken what?
Fiendbound? Phoebe.
Phoebe. Yes, I like it.
That's better.
Yeah.
That's better.
That's what you get at the end of first year.
Wait,
You graduate to a real nickname.
so FB?
No.
Yeah,
PH.
Phoebe.
You go. And
Nice. Nipper, Phoebe.
That's
Great.
right, that's right.
Hmm. Yep.
All names.
It works.
Snipper.
Yeah.
Snip. Phoebe.
Yes.
and as such, you're being given a plain coloured cloak as
Okay.
a symbol of being first year.
Given what he's doing, it's either red or black.
He can choose the colour that he likes. It's just got, it's not allowed to have any decoration.
Oh, it's an unadorned cloak.
Yes.
During my undergrad, we called first years Jaffies because it's an acronym for just another fucking first year.
I like
Yeah.
it.
No,
Okay,
there's
so it's
no
orange now.
Jaffies.
Yes.
You've got an orange cloak. A Jaffa cloak.
Or, if Arabic, a Jafar cloak.
So, if you can complete 3 more years of studies at the Great School of Magic, you'll be considered a citizen of the nation.
and
And
therefore
heavily in debt.
and therefore a target of the entire Phaeacian military.
No, he's already a target.
Well, yeah.
You
I know, but
don't come
by name.
And if you manage to pass the test of sorcery, you can become a noble of the country once you become a citizen.
Ooh.
And noble gives you rights and land. It's not just a titling name; it is an official title with.
Which is a good point. You should be able to do that with pretty well any country.
Not many countries will do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some will. Darrakan will. Just got enough money.
Gallantry has a yearly test where people can become nobles, and the test is lethal.
Fun.
So, and it does test your arcane spell use. Specifically, the word arcane.
Yeah.
So anyone else pops into the test, might not make it out the other side.
But hey, if you get into trouble, just heal yourself up with the divine, you're all good.
Okay, so you all meet up in the tavern. This tavern is full of people that you have heard of from other nations.
Cool.
You've all got various titles. You have heard stories of Prayer from Atruaghin coming around. People are talking. People do know of Prayer of the Atruaghin.
Yes.
They may not know any stories of him, but they know he exists.
But let's face it, Darrakan is still scared of him.
They're more scared of you now. than they were.
Exactly.
Yes. What's the thing?
Because he looks even more clannish than he did when you first came to go with him.
And you've got a rep.
Return to his roots.
Yes, quite a serious rep. In fact, I'm pretty well known now.
So Tidal is known as the monk of Irendi. He is.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were going to say harlot of the group.
Harsh.
Well, he does have that secondary title, but
So-
it's completely up to him whenever he wants to use it.
Was that Monk of Arendi or Monkey of Arend?
Depends on the
So,
dialect.
so the question on Irendi is one of the pirate nations to the south.
Okay.
It's also the resort nation where you go for a good time in more ways than one.
Ooh.
Think Fantasy Island.
Yes.
It was almost like they wrote it based on Fantasy Island.
Would not be at all shocked.
And so yes, you are known as the hero of Irendi. Not that anyone knows what you're heroic for, but they recognise you as that hero. Whereas when your renown grows, they will tell stories of your exploits.
What's renown? How does the renown scale?
Every 5. So on 0 to 5, you're the hero of your town, but no one knows you because you haven't made a name for yourself. When you hit 5, your town starts talking about you. When you get to 10, your neighbouring town starts talking to you. When you get to 11, your nation starts talking about you.
Right.
I believe it is. So it escalates very quickly. I will actually bring up the proper scale so I get it right.
So renown 10 Darrakan is reasonably hoopy.
So
Yeah,
it's best in the country you're
What a
in.
hoopy fruit.
That's right. That's why I always put towel on my character sheets.
Okay, so until you get to 5, you're not really known by anyone except officials. At 5, you're known by the settlement where you've got the renowned group.
Yeah.
At 10, you're known by the neighbouring settlements. By the time you get to 15, you're known by the nation, and all the nation talks about you.
Right.
All things that are neighbouring merge and form into the one thing.
So 10 is right up there.
10 means that Darrakan City and all the neighbouring cities talk about it.
But
Yeah.
not necessarily the whole of Darrakan country.
No. No. Although in Darrakan, anywhere in Darrakan, a bard would probably have heard of me. Because they travel and keep track of these things.
So, but your story is known in the capital, so I'll give you lots of bonuses.
Yep.
Then when you reach 20, neighbouring nations start talking about you in detail. When you hit 25, the entire region starts talking about you. When you hit 30, the neighbouring regions also start talking about you. When you hit 35, the entire continent is talking about you.
Right. So you can either concentrate on and get 35 in a single reputation, or get 15 in each major city. Will have much the same effect.
Well,
Although getting 35
Well, once you
Yeah.
once you have overlapping regions, they all merge into a single thing.
Yeah.
So,
So you end up going for the 35 anyway. Yeah.
and that's basically so. Tidal started off as a village in a village when he was doing it, and
Yeah.
so once he got to a certain point and become a national thing, he now has to go to the city centre to increase the renown.
So the renown I get for just going for renown in Darrakan. So everyone just knows me as a great person to be around.
They know
Depending
you're
upon
hero.
what
Also-
aspect of the renown you were going for.
Well, no, basically, I was going for renown in Darrakan.
Yeah, so
Nothing
basically
specific.
That's right. You go
I'm just a great person to have at parties.
as opposed to being
The-
cultural
It's-
renown of Garrick and
yeah.
things like that.
So
Well,
there-
that's the
there-
thing. This is exactly the sort of thing I need to have as a diplomat.
So you've got
yeah.
a regional one, there's a cultural one, there is a spiritual one, there is a secret craft, there's an organizational one, and then there's a mastery.
Yeah.
So if you want to be trained in weapons above and beyond what a proficiency is, you've got to get renowned as a master of the weapon before people will touch you.
Yeah.
They've
Because
got to,
they've got to know you're worth teaching.
yeah.
And that's the same thing. That's why I was aiming for renown for the secret crafts.
And so
So
that is different to your renown in Garrick City.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Is there an overlap if I'm in Darrakan? Well, all three of my renowns are in Darrakan City, but two of them are secret crafts. So within one of the secret crafts, do I get both renowns?
You will be able to use your regional and your secret craft talking to the secret craft,
Okay.
But not to general people in Garrick.
but you won't be
Yeah.
able to use the secret craft.
No,
on
I
the secret
wasn't
craft.
expecting to. It only works in one direction. What
But
it
also,
does, what it
also
does
may affect
mean.
though the fact that the secret
Yeah.
craft, maybe even though they might be physically located in Darrakan City, they may have less concern about your renown in Darrakan City because the secret craft
Yeah.
is actually, but their headquarters is based somewhere else.
Yes.
So,
So it's just you started learning it in the fort, which is
Yeah.
why it's so low in Darrakan City.
Hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're now in the Knights.
Knights Revet.
Knights Revet.
Yep.
As a tavern.
Okay.
It's a revetment.
Where we've had
What was Rogar's renown in?
Rogar's renown. I actually have it on the website, and I'll go.
Being
for
that
it.
Rogar is rather young,
Hmm.
so they're awfully young for someone of such renown.
but it's the sort of thing that you've been
I mean,
busy-
as a Dragonborn, you're pretty
but you've
unique,
been
so in
busy
which
at the
case.
point. Like
So
you say,
Rogar-
you know yourself quickly because been out and about.
Rogar has most of her renown with the Turtle Clan and with the Dwarf Gate Mountains,
Okay.
because she's from the Dwarf Gate Mountains and she was working in the Turtle Clan lands.
What a shitty clan to be renowned.
But that's where the
got a problem with
that's
Turtle
where
Clan?
the
Yeah,
Dragon
but-
settle the
They're
Dragon
a
settlement
great
is
source
in
of
the Turtle
ninjas.
Clans. But the Dragon settlement is there. So
And Chevron?
and Chevron has most of his with Alphine Town, and hasn't really spread out from there.
Hmm.
That's where he's based.
So mine's predominantly in.
Yours was down as
Blanchard.
Alphine Town as well, because you said you came from the same place, and you were using the Alphine Library, and then you'll be gaining the renown with
Blanchard.
Blanchard.
No.
Because of the amount of time you spend in there.
So it's what, plus 10 renown?
So you got 5 renown in
5 renown.
Alphine, you've got 5 renown with the Dwarven Pantheon in Alphine, because gnomes worship the Dwarven Pantheon.
Sorry, I'm just writing this down so I've got this. So it's plus 5.
So I'm sure Mark will give you more details when you actually work out what your 44 weeks is.
Again, it's all...
Because that'll make a big difference.
Well, that's what I thought most of it was doing
Yeah.
this.
The existing
Yeah.
part is all on the website. Well,
Right,
that's
okay.
what she's reading from.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so you basically spend some time here, and you're seeing all these various heroes from around the region, from places you've never visited. For some of you, you've got Ethingarians, you've got Blantrians, you've got
Take notes.
Eularans,
Take notes of places to go.
you've got so you've got the North
That's right.
Viking, you've
Been
got
there, glimpsed that.
Yep.
you've got a couple of the Karamikians, you've got some from Arendi and Minrethad. Minrethad and Arendi people rarely come inland so far.
Any Elphations?
No Alphatians.
Stabbed.
and no Thyadans.
Right, okay.
The Alphatians just disappeared.
So both of the big empires aren't present.
Aren't represented in this group.
Got to feed the beast.
Which is amusing considering a majority of the humans in the region are Thyadran.
And the implication, or the assumption we've got until we hear otherwise, is that the heroes have been gathered in had invitations similar to what we had.
Well, you got one personally given, and you actually got a box of gold. They got nothing. They just got a letter.
Okay, so that's it. The talk in the tavern has been the fact that they've all received this letter. Do they know who's come from or anything like that? No, okay.
All they know is that whoever gives them instructions told them they had to follow the letter. Here's some advice. Go and do it if you know what's good for you. And most of them were told to report back on anything that was discussed.
Right. Okay.
You weren't given any of those sort of instructions.
No.
But you did most of them sort of. One of them in particular was a Thyadran spy, and kept announcing that she was a Thyadran spy.
So either she was great or bad at it.
Because she was proud of being a Thyadran spy.
So she was basically saying, "Hi, I'm not one because I'm an idiot."
And so that one ended up being evicted before the day started.
I'm not surprised.
And that was the token Thyadran.
They have a delegation every year, and they all brag.
Mm-hmm.
And the amusing thing
of course, if she was good, she was also one of the other students and is still at school.
The amusing thing is that was actually what one of my players was doing in there, and saying, "Oh look, I can't keep this secret from my nation. I must tell my nation everything." But you've got the spy background. Why are you saying that to the guy who's giving you the quest before he gives it to you?
You can get the details and then go back and report.
I had no problem if they did that.
Okay.
But telling the guy,
well, I'm an honest spy. I just want to let you know.
Enrollment fees.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that'll do it.
That's where my money went. Enrollment fees.
Enrollment fees and accommodation.
You paid up front.
and look at it this way.
Got a hex for you.
There's absolutely no reason why any of your mundane items now can't be uselessly magical in nature.
Uselessly magical.
Yeah.
They're shiny, they're glittery.
So the
they
equivalent
smell good.
of I have a
Underpants that never need washing.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, but you don't.
The magic items in 5th are awfully vague in their prices. So
no, they're not vague in their prices. They're only vague if you don't know where to look. They have
I know they got boundaries. They got boundaries, but I'm wondering, like, if I've got we picked up 2,000 gold pieces in unmarked coins. How did you guys spend them?
Most of them spend it on downtime.
Okay, so a lot of that
Doing
like training, building renown, gathering information, bits and pieces like that. So.
right.
Becoming the hero of the nation.
Traveling.
Yes, about half of mine was spent on leveling. I think.
So
Only leveling was 100.
yeah, that's like the level itself.
True, it was one of
building
the
renown
others,
to
but I have
where
a
you can
copy
get
of
the
it. Hold
level.
It was the secret craft that chewed up most of yours.
Yes, yes, it did. One glasses. Because
Because often they say you can do like a 1 point of renown per week type stuff, and you've got to go and do stuff that costs you money
Yes.
during that week to then
Which
build enough round
which I did.
to actually then get access to the
And it
secret craft
costs
or
you
your
10 times the
level
point you're going for.
yes,
So
Oh, yes, 100
1 point of
point
renown
there.
costs you 1, 2 points of renown costs you
20.
20.
Gaining-
Getting to the third point of renown costs you 30. So there you've
Yeah.
suddenly spent 60 and you only get 3 points of renown.
Right.
yes,
Okay.
So
7,
do I have to spend that for my renown?
Don't stress it right now.
We'll do that
Yeah.
between games.
10
Because
point.
I wasn't following along with
Yeah.
that.
Worst case, all you do is tell me what you want. I add it all up for you. Fix things
Yeah,
that I
he
think
does
you
this.
need to have.
Yes, 10 ranks of renown in Darrakan City, 490.
Yeah.
What the hell is it?
This is something I sent
This
you.
is something
Yeah,
that
so
we got
his
sent
downtime
after
working
we,
sheet.
because we actually sent Martin, hey,
Was
these
done
are
for
the
the
things
three
we're
of
looking
us.
to do, approximate times, approximate cost.
Because I know
Yeah.
things like gambling, carousing, all that, which are
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah. If
So-
you look
But
on
he's
the,
got a bunch of other downtime stuff. Some of it taken from where's your
There's
Xanathar-
Xanathar's over here.
Xanathar?
That's
Yeah.
what I was pointing to.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Xanathar has a bunch of new ones,
But I cleaned
and
it up
he's
because you've had.
he's fixed it up.
I made it a single roll instead of multiple
Yeah.
rolls.
But yes, training in Elvenologist was 770, and half of my time.
Another feeling?
But that's Elven High Magic.
He got Spirit High Magic.
Yeah.
Spirit
Yes.
High.
Yes. I still have to get what I actually get for doing that.
That comes up on the weekend, I think.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so there's more to it than that.
Yeah,
All right.
23rd of February is when
I'll
it's
worry about
starting.
that later.
Okay.
So it's not that late to wait and has the full spell list though.
Cool.
Most of it is ritual magic.
Even better. I have no problem with learning lots of ritual magic.
So as you're sitting down and resting and seeing this biggest bunch of adventurers you've ever seen anywhere, you're finding it a bit daunting for most of you because you've never seen this amount of gathering short of a army. This is the equivalent of what a commander's tent would look like as you're going to war.
War.
Especially considering the amount of items people are carrying, the amount of personal prestige they
I'm-
have.
Okay. I've got a headache.
Do you see that in game?
No. He's saying the fact
No,
that
no.
with all the items in here, it's very bright into his mental sight.
Yes.
He's got to wear shadows.
I have detect magic permanent. Well, basically it's usable at will, but I'm going, oh, a thing. Oh, there's more. Oh, shit.
And
I
even,
can see 48 magic items just in my field of view right now.
and absolutely every bit of clothing worn by the Nipper is radiating some form of magic.
What? Really?
Yep.
Oh god.
You come from
I take the
Galadriel.
cloak off and I shake it out. Stupid.
Glitter goes everywhere.
It just.
It does do a bit of a glitter.
To my...
Well, no, because then that's not what I want. I don't want to be like. I want someone to go detect magic and just stand out of a crowd.
Well, they don't actually
that's
have to
attracting
detect
attention.
magic. You radiate magic by just wearing the
because
clothing.
Galantry gear.
Because in Galantry, if you don't radiate magic, you can be killed on sight.
for not being magical.
Yeah, but I'm not in Galantry
I
anymore.
know.
No, so we're
So
normal
you-
But,
characters.
Exactly.
but if you wanted to
Precisely.
show off amongst all these other people, that's up to you.
You
No.
You should have a top hat with a rabbit inside of it because you're truly magical.
Yes.
A wand with a black wand with white ends.
And you did find out you were one of the few gnomes that permitted entry into the Great School of Magic.
Because I lowered my top and they went, "Oi, you need some help with that."
I can feel the magic through your shirt.
Uh-oh.
Let me lick
Normally
it.
gnomes don't go there because they deal in magic, not science.
Mm.
So gnomes generally have a distaste for the place.
That actually gets really interesting with my nice shiny staff, because basically it's of the god of steampunk.
Anyway,
Innovation, invention, complex machines, magical research. Yeah.
Hmm.
And this thing isn't actually the artifact, apparently. It's the key for the artifact. I don't know what powers the key has. That's later research. Or possibly more research if you're willing to let me have extra rolls.
So what you actually have figured out from the fact that it's a key, the actual artifact is its own plane.
Oh. I think I'm going to...
It's one of the outer planes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sit somewhere and go eat for a while once I realise that one.
well, you've had a year to eat.
Oh no, definitely. So I could draw on it. I could
But it is one thing that they say you will notice with Kennedy when he's come back is that yes, he now keeps his elk in the stables.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, he didn't have an elk before. He now has an elk.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
because the others had an elk, but he didn't.
Well, he did have an elk, but he didn't. He didn't. In the time you've known him, he hasn't had an elk.
Yes.
But he now has his elk again.
Elk
Yes.
is the personal riding mount of the elk clan.
Mm. Yeah. Yes. By the way, if there is a magic item available to help protect my mule, I'm going to find it and get one.
Portable hull, protected all the time.
That's rather
for about 10 minutes.
different. Yeah, no. But that with an item that allows you to breathe.
I commandeered in a campaign many years ago. I commandeered the party's portable hole to store my pony after it died.
Why didn't you eat it?
Sentimental?
It was very sentimental. It was actually. I spent more time developing the history and characteristics of that pony than I did for the character. And then it died. It died in the first extinction.
I've not gone that far, but for sentimental reasons, I do want to keep the mule.
Okay, so
Is it a
Maybe I could-
mule or a he mule?
It's a mule. It doesn't matter much.
most mules can't have kids.
That's right. That's the point of a mule. It
Well, that's not
it
the
does
point of a
no.
mule.
The point of a mule is
I
carrying
love my
stuff.
mule.
The point of the name
Sorry,
is yes,
What
they
is my purpose?
they have been known to successfully breed, but normally they don't. What's interesting is they're different to ride than a horse or a donkey,
They normally have more muscle for some reason.
particularly in the neck.
Okay, so
Mule
as the day comes for your actual meeting, you see that they've set out many rooms and lots of food in all the different rooms. And most of the people are going off onto different groups. As they're sitting around and eating, you guys get what appear to be the largest of the rooms,
Okay.
and you get a table to yourselves.
What is the inside
You've
of
had
the room
more
look
food
like?
on the table than you've seen before.
What does the inside of the room look like?
It is a nice, I'd probably say nice styled wood. So everything here is high human craftsman.
Okay.
So not the best they can be, but far better than you expect from an inn. The food is of dishes from all over the world.
Nice.
There are dishes here you have no idea what the name is.
If they smell good, I'll have some.
Some of them are spicy beyond belief. Some of them look as if they're still moving. And some of them basically are presented in such a way that they look like the animal that they came from. But the entire thing is edible. So someone's going to do a lot of effort to do the equivalent of the Heston Blumenthal presentation for you.
Yes, there's a specific name for that because it was common to do things like swans done in the shape of a swan with the feathers back on after
Called
it's
a
cooked.
subtlety.
Subtlety, that's the name for it.
And
Yes.
so this is the sort of stuff they reserve for high banquets and nobles. And generally for a special occasion.
Yes. Well, special, we're here. Okay, there are other people.
But apparently we are more special.
We're especially special.
Okay, so you see a man walk in about 30. He's of average height and lean. But he looks muscle like he's got decent muscles on him.
Right.
He has black hair that is rather long, and he has a short black beard and mustache. He wears a matched black velvet hat and doublet sewn with red roses, also made of velvet. Black hose and boots, and a red belt and full-length cloak. He wears only a knife at his side and no other weapons or pouches. He looks like a well-to-do merchant with a flair for colourful clothing. So at this stage, you can make an intelligence check.
To work out that he isn't what he appears.
Or no, to work out that you've met him before.
Yep. Intelligence is usually used for memory or for identification.
19.
18.
Is this standard, or does he have any religious significance?
He has no religious iconography on him.
Purely a case of your memory.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
So definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
What did you get?
18.
What did Fitnipo get? And what did Llewellyn get?
13.
Okay, so Llewellyn's the only one who doesn't recognise him.
So El's got the worst memory of the lot. That
Yeah, I
comes
said
in.
8.
Oh, you said
Oh, you
eight.
said 8.
Yes.
Oh,
I
I thought you
said
said 18. So you don't recognise him either. So the three of you recognise him as Rheddrian.
Okay.
And so, as he just like, okay, so we've got all these.
And
He's gathering of heroes. He's staying at the Knight's Event.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a particular, like on the original invitation or request type stuff, did it have a time or just a date or approximate week?
Well, he had this day.
Yeah, the date.
It was the day.
So not
and
necessarily.
and basically this location. For the
Yeah,
day.
that's right, but not necessarily a time or something like that. So basically I would expect that most people are still just congregating around the common area and
And he walked up to
Rheddrian
us.
walks in.
Yep. And sits and basically closes.
I
the
thought we
door
were
behind
supposed to
and
look for
sits
him.
down. And he says,
He
"My
only gives-
friends," as he sits down.
Nothing.
Pettidier,
Oh, what? Hello.
Pettidier will certainly stand up
Yeah.
coming in. and
Oh,
say,
yeah, him.
Greetings.
Nice seeing you again.
Indeed.
Glad the time travel agreed with you.
Well, it's unusual.
Backwards, forwards, it doesn't make much difference to me at the moment.
If you say so.
Yeah, he sits down. So, my friends, it's good to see you again. Please sit and enjoy the food. I hope it's as good as they said it would be.
It is excellent.
I'm glad you like it. I picked out something that I hope everyone would love.
The guy from the shield. Rheddrian, the guy from the shield.
He looks at you going,
The guy he went into the shield for.
I'm playing along.
Oh, wow.
that's what Rheddrian was doing this one.
Plum.
So last time I played, you went into the shield,
Yep.
and I have no idea what happened.
Well,
Most of the others didn't either.
Basically, no, and that's just it. It's the sense that, like, yeah. I went into the
He
shield,
disappeared for
the
ages.
session you missed,
And then we went and did some stuff.
the session you missed, yes.
Yeah.
I was in the shield for 3 months while you guys did stuff,
Yeah.
which is basically part of that 44 weeks.
Oh.
So,
So he saw things and saw
And now
places.
you have an elk.
And now he has an elk.
well, okay, it's been a year. You haven't seen me for a year.
Hmm.
You did see me for the short after the shield.
Yeah.
Has it been that
When
long?
did you leave
I
your
guess
elk
it should be.
last?
I mean, we did
But,
get
well, I left
instructions.
it back to plan.
Yeah.
Oh,
In the
okay.
sense that
Alright.
because when I left,
I don't remember it in the game for ages.
It hasn't been in the game for ages because he's been dungeoning for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. Even when we actually technically had the elk, we often didn't have the elk because, hey, we lost 3 years down in the bottom of the
Last time I
dungeon.
remembered it was in one of the forts, and that was it.
What's
Don't
the-
remember it
Oh.
after that.
What's the lifespan of elk?
Well, normally not that long, but then again, when you say that the length of the Atruaghins aren't that long either, it sort of catches up.
But also you've got to remember that whilst you guys probably don't notice or not, it's not necessarily the same elk that you guys saw before.
Yeah.
So
All elves look alike to them.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't know.
it basically
it's-
says he rides an elk like we ride a horse.
Yeah.
So people
Yeah.
tend to go through multiple horses potentially.
It's like you're sitting on a house.
Yeah, because
They're big.
Well, it comes with carrying capacity. You just hang things while it's going so they dry as you travel.
And you can hang party members off it. It's very useful.
And they can dry while you travel.
An elk is like
Yes, big.
huge.
the size of that wall.
Yes, it's the giant elk.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the European elk.
and I'm as tall as the table.
You can walk right underneath it without having
Yeah.
to bend over.
Mhm.
7 feet at the shoulder.
But it's okay, he stays in the stable.
That, or I guess European,
Yes.
but like
Yes,
maybe
they are.
smaller.
They are 7 feet at the shoulder and about 8 feet long.
And
at
it has
the torso.
horns this long
They are
coming off either side of its
huge.
head.
European versus North American, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because North American ones aren't that.
No,
big.
they're the size of a horse. A big horse, but a horse.
But these are the ones with the big
These are fucking huge.
and they use them in war.
I mean, technically, as far as the game's concerned, you're actually the same size as the horse. So they're both
Yeah.
large creatures.
Yeah, it's the large end
This
of
is
horse.
the larger
Because
end
the
of
way
it,
you're
but-
describing, I'm just like, it's a moose. He's riding a moose.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
is literally
Doesn't
riding a
know.
moose.
Yeah.
Well, they're two names for the same thing.
Different location. Well,
Depends
they're very
where you
similar.
are.
That's right.
In some place, in Canada,
they're not-
no, but in America, yes.
They're not actually the same animal, but they're closely
Yeah,
related.
no, they're very closely related. Yeah, depends who you're talking to.
Okay, so yes.
But yeah, and then there's the Irish elk. which goes even bigger.
Cool
again.
story. What's going on?
Anyway,
What I have, I'm come here to discuss a matter of great importance to you. To me, to everyone. When you might guess that it involves the matter we discussed when we first met, and you'd be right.
mm-hmm.
First, forgive me through. I must cast a spell or two in order to ensure we are not being spied upon by magical means.
Oh, we are.
Those of you who are knowledgeable in the ways of magic, he gestures towards our two main spellcasters of the group, and gives a nod to the other spellcasters of the group, which is everyone else. Please observe that the spells I invoke are no threat to you. So he does a variation of detect magic, detect evil or good and evil, detect invisible, and then he casts a lock on the door and the room, basically sealing it from dimensional travel.
Okay.
So how many people in the room at the moment?
Basically, just you 5 and him.
Oh, okay. So the rest of the heroes that have been gathered aren't here. Okay, right. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was thinking it was gathered with everyone. So
Yeah, no, not this time.
So in that case, then yes, Heard you wouldn't have tried to whisper it was Rheddrian from the Shield. You would have actually said, "So, Rheddrian, what have you been up to the last 12 months?"
So this is
Right.
how they mentioned him looking at the party looking.
Right.
Based on the fact that they're assuming you are playing an elf, not a elf with a class.
Right.
And
Yes.
you're playing a halfling,
rogue
not a
and,
halfling with a class. And that gnomes want a playable class.
Okay.
Yes.
In the original edition, it wasn't. It was one of the
I'm aware.
expanded
Yeah.
You know that the PC top, which came out to expand this, included gnomes as a class.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time gnomes were allowed to be a playable race.
Yep. Well, they did the same thing in 4th Ed. Couldn't play a gnome out of the player's handbook.
I'm a monster.
Yes.
Made me laugh when I saw that.
Oh,
That was my ring. That was my message tone for like
yes.
a year.
Yep.
Maybe more people want to play gnomes after that.
Yeah. Hey, with a player's handbook.
Okay,
Because I'm in
so,
the monster manual.
I have a man. I have a mini.
so this will ensure that we have a certain amount of privacy. Now we can get to business.
Mm-hmm.
First, a word to explanation. You'll remember from when we last met that I was trapped within the remarkable mirror-like shield.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
And you
yeah.
were kind enough to free me from that prison. A good deed for which I am quite grateful. My stay inside the shield changed me, friends. I emerged with all of my abilities and mental facilities intact. And thanks to the energy I absorbed while trapped, I acquired other abilities as well. The ability to work magic spells, for example.
Oh.
You appear to do that well.
In this time, since we last saw one another, I have been learning about this world of yours, Mystara, I think you call it. I am convinced that it's the same one as the one my ship crashed in upon those many centuries ago.
Oh yeah.
But dozens of centuries of catastrophe have changed it. It is very, very different from the way I remember it.
Right.
It's called modernization, fam.
Well, it has, I think, in game terms, it has been close to 5,000 years since he crashed on this planet.
Yeah, dude. God
Pretty good.
forbid.
And he doesn't look like a day over 30.
He's been in a mirror.
Do I?
You're a gnome, it's hard to tell.
Well, for other
Especially
gnomes it is. It's okay.
You sort of look as if you're in the rebellious years of your, the way you got your head partly shaved.
I got like two plats on this side, part of faux hawk, this side shape.
So do you happen to have a island shape shaved in there?
No.
Just asking.
Here already.
Just asking if you want to, put tokens everywhere.
Like if I adjust my clothing, I can put a tit through the whole fucking. I mean, it's like seriously, it burns my
No, we
clothes
could
every
just go
time.
No,
Just put
no.
little demons in his
The
head.
real reason he hasn't got it shaved into his head is because he learnt when he tried to get them pictures and drawings on of it of what happens to the artist, so he didn't want to hurt the poor
Ah, yes.
I don't know if he's that concerned about other people's welfare. No offense.
He used to be.
Well, from a player's perspective, he wants to stay as concerned as possible. The less concerned he gets.
All those orphans.
See, that's working for it. concern there.
All those
is always
gnomish
the-
orphans.
Okay. I said, still, it's a nice place, and since I didn't suppose I'll ever find my way back home after all these centuries, I've adopted it as my new home. Also, since
And
we
you are more
last...
than welcome.
Thank you. Also, since we last met, I've used my new abilities to become quite wealthy, fairly powerful, and very well informed in certain areas. Yes, now, I've asked you here because I need your help. I told you last time we met I thought dangerous forces were doing harm to the magical energy of this world. Now, I'm certain of it.
Said there was catastrophe coming.
I have also seen strange changes in the activity of whole nations. Clans and countries seem to be jumping and jerking in strange, unpredictable directions, like chickens freshly beheaded. I'm sure you've seen these changes as well. I sense that these political events are the result of powerful manipulations. As an example for your characters, the fact that the Great Khan ordered his people to stand down warfare for an entire year
Yeah.
it's more unusual than anything else you've heard of yet.
And there's been some unusual things that have come up recently.
Yeah, and it's a
And that's
neighbouring
yeah.
a neighbouring warlike nation that fights for everything.
Got to take a breather every now and then.
It's the first time you've ever heard of them in history taking a breather. And helping someone, they helped the ice whale, ice shield port instead of attacking them.
Yes. Well, they should have eaten them.
They should have basically wiped each other out instead of assisting each other.
Yes.
That was what you're used to in the way the Rheddrians deal with people. And the fact that dwarves are actively helping them is also a concern.
Yeah. There's lots of very weird things happening politically. Let's get back to the normal chaos.
And I sense that these political events are a result of powerful manipulators. People who are making entire nations dance on their puppets' strings. People who don't care how many thousands of people suffer and die. I think there are multiple sets of events that may be related, and I'll tell you why. Through my research, I've come to the conclusion that only beings of a certain level of power, you call them immortals, can utilize the remaining devices of my own ship. In doing so, they are draining magical energy from the world, as I told you. If it continues, your world will be utterly drained of magic. Think of it, a whole world with no spells, no magical healing, no magical weapons or protection, and no magical creatures either. And that would include our gnome friend over here, he and the elf. Neither of you can exist in a world without magic.
Well.
And the dragon born over there, again, also wouldn't exist. And the Genasi over here, well, he wouldn't. So look at it this way: the dragon over there would be the sole remaining inheritor of the world without magic, where you can't talk to the spirits for guidance.
So to save the world, we have to kill all the gods, or at least nick all their power items.
Well, that escalated
that's
quickly.
a lot of gods.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gods.
Well,
yes.
it was. No, I think you said that beings of immortal power
Can
are
use
the only
these
ones that
things.
could use it.
Yes.
Not necessarily say that all of the immortals are using it.
No, but we'd have to go and steal all the magic items.
Now, I don't know why the Immortals are doing this. Not all Immortals are good, as you know. Perhaps you've already had the opportunity to observe the damage which an Immortal can cause with only a casual intention. Just glancing around the room, looking at how some people have been screwed over, including having a glance at your chest, having a glance at your staff, just giving you a knowing look, and just looking at Tidal, and just giving Rogar the "I'm sure your time will come" sort of look.
Yes, Title's the only one who's been literally screwed over though.
No, he didn't. He's the one who did the screwing.
Yes, it's in my book,
Yeah.
which I didn't write.
Hey, Dresser was quite explicit in getting the details right.
Maybe a future you wrote it and sent it back as a warning.
People want to know.
Did you even read it?
I've read it many times. I think it's the best damn thing invented. As far as
It's
I'm
become his
concerned.
favourite bedtime novel.
It is. I've read it far too many times.
Are we learning yet?
It
Bizarre.
gets me every time.
He now thinks he can improve upon it
I
next
think
time.
that sounds like a long bow to draw with that conclusion.
So says, well,
I mean, what evidence do you have of this? I'm intrigued and interested in your connection of logic.
Well, I will get to that. Others are not necessarily evil, are indifferent and careless, and through their neglect, they can destroy us as easily as those who act with evil intent. So
Okay.
Immortals don't particularly care what happened to mortals, especially if they conflict with whatever plan they might have.
Compared to an ant, I am immortal, and I care not for the affairs of mere ants. I can understand
Exactly.
that.
But you can really stress for the ant if you're one yourself and you get stepped on just because you were there.
Precisely. So, I mean, it seems like the natural order of things.
It says too much is happening in this part of the world too quickly for it to be natural. Only immortals can wreak so much havoc in so short a time, but I do not know which immortals are doing this or why. All I know is that I want to see them stopped. I don't know if that's possible, but I've decided to use my abilities and fortunes to find out what's going on. To see if there's a way, maybe if we could find out why they're doing this, we could find a way to convince them to stop. I cannot do it all myself. I cannot be everywhere at once. I need allies. Men and women like yourself. So I'm here to persuade you to join me. I need adventurers who can travel the world, observe events, and in places where I think the immortals are most active, and accumulate evidence to provide or disprove my theory. If you accept, I must ask you not to speak of this mission to your rulers, or even the immortals you serve, until we know who is doing what to whom. I do not ask that you swear a permanent oath of secrecy, but please, for now, until we are certain who is the enemy, who is the friend, keep this association that we are doing to yourself. Can you do that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
No. I'm sure Atruaghin is not involved, but you don't need to talk to him about everything.
And how much do you trust this guy?
I think we met him for probably 15 minutes.
Well, I was more asking.
So, certainly, everything I've seen of him so far is to his word.
He also paid you $2,000.
You also got
Yes.
You've
that's
also
true.
got largely nothing to lose from this as well.
He did.
Lots
As
of
in-
the,
as
lots
in-
of the ancestors.
Exactly, as in you don't personally disappear unlike the rest of us. Should magic be seeped out as well.
And your point?
Oh, I appreciate
But he loses access to his ancestors,
Do you feel
which
I would
is
be-
their entire way of life.
Do you feel I would be less invested in the situation just because it was
That's
not
true.
affecting me personally? It's going to affect me personally by the loss of my friends.
Yeah. It's fine. I've got good fingers.
Just gotta make sure I go around the computer instead of
yes.
over it. Would anyone else like a coffee?
Yes, you
I'm
would.
already making you one. Long
Yeah.
black? Yes, please.
Yes.
Hot
Coffee?
chocolate?
Yes.
Peppermint?
Yes, please.
Pardon me.
Yeah,
presume too
you would
much.
lose becoming
You guys
one
don't
of the Atruaghin
No, no.
people
No,
and just be a tribesman.
No, no. He's definitely made his point clear.
Yes, he's
I
made a
felt
point.
I overestimated non-existence above non-hereditary.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that the result is going to be the same for all, but I'm just curious, you suspect that my personal motivations would not be enough to prevent this catastrophe?
I'm very intrigued by this, like to get to know or
I can assure you,
speak to immortals, try and concern them with the plight of mere mortals like ourselves. What a mighty quest!
I can assure you that I
But,
do not wish to see the world devoid of magic.
No, but Rogard does make a point here that
Yeah.
we know very little of.
And also, why
And
us?
as I said,
Yeah, why else?
Well, you have you freed me for one.
Guess that makes sense.
I am
mean,
grateful.
we-
You have kept your word and come back after a time away. You have proven yourselves to be heroes of your people, where your people actually care about your well-being and don't want to string you up like a bunch of other people recently.
Comparatively, are we particularly well? You have your own issues, like well
You're
known.
also a young race. So.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
But you've got renown, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I mean comparatively, like compared to any other local heroes, why are we more renowned than the average?
Well, as Martin was saying, if you've got more than about 5 renown, you're not just local. You're a little bit more than local.
Oh, semi-local.
Yeah,
Very
Okay,
local.
you come together with the fact that, yes, well,
but it's
certainly
good reputation.
I have
too.
had the opportunity to spend more time with Rheddrian than yourselves, and
Also
I would
in
vouch
your-
for him.
Yeah, in
If you
your
accept my word as your
True, but
longer-term travelling companion,
but in the year that we have been away, surely you have met more people.
I have, and I'm meeting with them in other rooms.
I suspect that's why there's a few people downstairs.
Oh, I see. Parallel negotiations.
And I was going to go talk to them after I spoke to you guys first because I felt that you deserved to be first.
As he said, he's looking for support that can spread throughout the world.
So we
He can
get
only
first
be one
chance.
place, as can we.
And
Yes.
I called in heroes
people-
from all the nations. Unfortunately, no one from the Thiatan region could be trusted
Right.
from the Empire Pirates, and I had to ask them to leave.
Have concerns about Thiatan?
They were stating that everything I said to them would then be reported to their police and given to their government.
Right.
Should we, I say, like, quietly, should we be worried about Drazzle?
He's
I
fine.
don't think so.
Oh, Drazzle, he's waiting outside. I've been traveling with Drazzle.
Oh.
Okay.
There we go.
Fair enough.
So in a way, we're dealing with the a bunch of mortals that could destroy the Earth.
Immortals.
Immortals. We're a bunch of immortals that could destroy the Earth.
You normally call them gods.
And normally call them gods.
Did they deserve
And
such
there's
respect?
and this is coordinated by what's his name?
Rheddrian. No.
Rheddrian. This is
No,
coordinated by Rheddrian.
Not coordinated by. The point is, he's saying
So Rheddrian is powerful.
Rheddrian is someone who came on a major ship, or
Yep.
ancient thousands of years ago,
Yeah,
the
I
remnants
understand.
of
I
that
understand.
ship
Yeah, I got it.
are destroying the world.
Yeah, I got it.
But it's the influence of immortals on those relics that are causing them to destroy the world.
Yes.
And what
So
he'd like to do
he's
is
not
stop
certain
that
which immortals
influence.
are the ones doing it yet.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but he's
Right.
certainly not the one doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Well, at least not as far as we know.
And so but Rheddrian is coordinating.
A force to actually find out more about
Right.
what we're up against.
Yep.
A group
Yeah.
of investigators
Absolutely.
to try to save
Yeah.
the world.
So we have a patron, we have a commander, as such, of a number of teams. This is Stargate SG1.
And he's sponsoring, and you are the.
No, really, he is George
you are-
Hammond. We are SG1.
Well, probably
Yeah, we're
they're
team
all
one.
they're the other
no,
teams.
No, there's probably less because
Spaceships,
I
gods.
suspect we'll be
This is SG1.
less involved on a outside of our like let's say individual SG teams will have less interaction with each other. than
Exactly.
the SG1.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Just because of lack of communication.
Exactly, that's right. That's right. We're not
Yes.
actually all living in the same base.
Right. Yes. Watch out for SG13. They're the comedy unit. Friends of mine were actually running SG13 in a game as a comedy.
Anyway,
They're
Okay, so
that's how I'm just seeing the setup here.
yeah.
Well, one thing that you might not have thought
Spaceships,
of
gods, and
It's valid.
is that one of the gods
We've got to
you might
persuade gods.
personally follow is one of those we're
Find out
trying
which one of the bad ones.
to stop.
As I said, I'm sure it's
So-
Persuade to stop.
they're probably like controlled by brainworms anyway. So yeah.
Probably.
So if we do find ourselves in conflict by your personal beliefs or by those of who you support believing, we can deal with matters if you and part amicably. I under no desire to stop any information I give you from getting out. I just don't want.
Don't want it now.
Yeah, I just don't want people running off before we understand the full implications of what we're doing.
Well, I for one am interested in taking on your quest, but who else, like what other peoples might know about it?
I am hiring the team. So I want to hire you as a team to offer
No, of course. I wasn't meaning like I singular as a single unit, but
The
I was
other
just saying
teams.
I'm interested. But how many other peoples?
As many as I can hire.
No, as in like, do the dragons know it about it?
No one, not in this tavern. No
Yeah,
one.
they do.
But
Only if she wishes them to, they cannot hear this conversation.
So, well, they
Is
may
Drazzle
know about
outside?
it if they're
Drazzle
involved.
is outside.
Can Drazzle hear?
Drazzle cannot hear
That's more
outside
what
this
I'm
room.
asking, but he's
Then
being a
the,
bit
the
coy.
dragons don't
Well,
know
no,
yet.
what
Yeah.
like you say, he's
Drazzle and I
Yeah.
had a conversation. He was
he's
not
discovered this stuff,
asked to be in
this
this room for a reason.
Right.
potential conspiracy,
Has he been feeding information back? Because I
Himself.
no doubt think that this
and he wants to find out more.
Dragonborn is
Yes.
under
As
his
far
own
as it goes, like now,
auspices and his.
we are the staff of.
He,
That would be-
Drazzle
He answers
So
to a much
he has told
much
nobody.
higher.
Yes.
No, that's what I
Clutch.
gathered, but
Drazzle and
But
I
he's
have
planning
come
on
to an
telling more
understanding.
people.
He's happy to work with you.
eventually, as
Actually
he
get
grows.
to
But
people
he's kept out of
Yeah.
all
Right.
of these sorts of these
What
level
are you
discussions
writing,
at
by the
this
way?
stage.
Like game related?
No,
Unless
just
you can
myself.
find if he is Immortals
I'm still
are
listening, but
willing
at the same
to
time,
ally
I'm
with
writing
us
a
to
card
stop
game
what's
that I'm
happening. In which case,
based
I'm more
off,
than happy to bring him in,
The
and he
Witcher
will
Science.
facilitate such meetings for
Cool.
you.
I was wondering how detailed
But
the notes were getting.
He may become someone to stop if he finds out too much about what you're doing.
Little tiny
No, if I was
things.
going to write detailed
His
notes, I
sole
need a
job is
PC
to
or something.
report
So I just
to
write too slow
as one of
otherwise.
the messengers of his gods.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of 12.
So, what happens if we assume we find out one of our gods are
The
Well,
the
he's saying the fact that-
responsible?
He's saying that he understands that situation may occur. If it does, we'll deal with that problem when it comes. Hopefully, we can depart amicably as friends.
And
Be
he's happy
persuaded.
I'm
to-
more concerned with that we have to kill our god and then we lose our powers.
Well, no.
No. Just we persuade them.
But at this stage, he recognises that we don't know enough as to know which side we or our friends might be on.
Because most people, when
So
they
if
got
we
his
find
on
out
it,
we're on the wrong side, or through our perspective, or from his perspective, then
Right.
and if you happen to be serving a
He'll
god
give you at
that
least
is
an hour's head start.
opposing our plan, you might be able to help convince said god to help us.
Hmm.
Whereas if
Yep.
you do not believe it will be in their interest and you do not want to change from their interest, that's when we discuss you leaving in a manner.
Right.
in a
I'm
way
willing
that-
to help out as long as.
However, you said that we have to hold to a oath of secrecy at least for a time.
At least for
For
now.
a time.
So if we wish to leave, how do you maintain
Well,
secrecy?
Well, Drazzle doesn't know the objectives of what you're doing.
I'm talking about us in the room here.
In the room here.
If you wish to leave, you leave as soon as you're ready.
Roughly how many gods are involved
Preferably
in this, if
let
we're guesstimating?
The rest of us know.
How many ship
you have
parts?
concerns?
Well, he has been able to find out that there's over 100 gods in this world.
Yes. How many of them have notable magic items which are likely to be ship parts?
Over
All
100.
of them.
Hi, you're talking to one.
With,
Oh, get out of
You're
your
a god
ass.
now, are you?
I wouldn't be at all surprised if this thing was the key to one of the ship parts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We all have something of a god in us,
Mm.
or on us, or with us. We're all part of this intrinsically anyway. You have you have a
Thank
key.
you so much.
I'm a key. I'm also a conduit of a god's power.
Precisely.
But not necessarily.
You don't
Rogar is a representative of the,
They're not necessarily all
God.
parts of his ship, which was the
No,
thing
that
called
was the thing.
No.
That's the thing. Potentially they are.
Do you need one? Oh, yeah,
Do you
okay.
want to
Nah,
eventually
I wouldn't-
code this, and at the end, we are the gods?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Bit disappointing.
That is terrifying.
Yes. It would be scary if this turns out to be the engine room key. And the alternate reality.
He looks at it and
the
says, no,
alternate-
your stuff is not the key to...
Like
Okay.
God's
Oh,
moving.
that
God's moving
technology.
strange ways. I've
this
read
is-
an awful lot
So
of
this is
information
an example
of
of an
bizarre
artifact
things.
that isn't
Like
part of what we're talking about. So yeah.
a child
Sorry.
could be
Could
an
be.
instrument of these things.
You
I
can
genuinely
use
trust
the artifacts of a
you,
god to
God.
get a god's attention and actually hold conversation with
But
that
the
god.
child is unlikely to be a relic from
It could be the
1,000
pilot.
year old ships.
It could be the pilot.
From the information that he had, seemingly he's the only one left of his ship.
Yes.
So
It is.
got
It is.
killed when their preservative systems failed.
Yes. It is going to be interesting
or
if the dwarves
shut
are
off, sabotaged.
the dwarvish version of Mazikeen.
At the same time, what happened? What
From what you're saying.
title
pretty
your
well the
your
only
your progeny seems to have come about from unusual means.
And I also have more news
So,
for
in
you.
which case,
Hmm.
what's to say that an immortal did not have a hand in that
Yeah.
via magical birth?
But, yeah,
Let's
so
not even go
you
there.
had other-
That's too much to,
Well,
too much to
the
think
biggest
about.
thing that I have for you now is the two great empires of your world had declared war. as of 1 week from today, 1 week ago today, they have officially declared war upon each other.
Which means-
Yes.
Which means what we're actually doing,
Gone beyond words.
what we're doing is we're trying to save the world at 2 different levels.
With wars declared, in none of your characters' lifetime has they've actually declared war between each other.
Yeah,
Well, again,
it's
it's got to
even
be-
mine.
So, if you think about it today's sense, or recent history sense, that the idea of yes, the superpowers couldn't declare war because the world had been destroyed if they
Yeah.
went to battle.
Roll for conquerors. A true Lord and Savior.
And well,
And he's expecting more nations to fall into the war as it progresses because Alphatia declared war on Galantry.
Something of a domino effect.
In
Yes.
return, Galantry declared war on Alphatia.
It's a world war.
And once Galantry declared war on Alphatia, the surprise was the Hellenic territories and the Theatan Empire both declared war on Alphatia as well.
It was nuts. You should have
So-
seen the newsletters.
Yes.
So that level of
Classes got cancelled.
the 3 that declared war on Alphatia have been within moments of each other. And that is a coordination that is you wouldn't be expecting.
so potentially the influence of others, as you said.
And
But are we all pawns of this anyway? And we are
everyone
throwing off yokes?
everyone is a pawn. Even
Yes.
the Immortals themselves are pawns because they are not the true gods of this world.
Yeah.
That is actually in the law of the setting.
Yes, that's why they're immortals, not gods.
Because remember, half of them were started as mortals.
No, all of them started with
Well,
Yes.
no, but
You
in
start
our
remembering.
in our beliefs, it's a case of there's at least some of them started as mortals. A lot of them they don't talk about starting as mortals because they don't remember starting as mortals.
Yes.
I believe we can live forever.
Well, certainly someone's proven it.
It's demonstrably true. Should we not all strive for this kind of thing?
Forever young.
Well,
Yes.
if you want to become one of the gods itself, there is possible, but you have much to learn.
True, and I believe
And
that
I would
might
be very careful
maybe that
about
is
who
the
you
way that
sacrifice to
we.
get there along the
I
way.
understand, but maybe that is the
Which
way
is
that
pointed
we.
at you.
Yeah.
How would you know about that?
Maybe that is the best way for us to talk down the Immortals is to become one of them. Because why would they listen to any of us Immortals if we were?
Because
we would
the
still only be
Immortals
juniors.
are their power and their influence.
As in belief.
But okay, so yeah, so
Not just belief.
we may not necessarily be able to talk down the immortals directly, but we potentially can talk down the mortals who are in control or being controlled.
And as far as I can tell, they do not have the
We're definitely going to be a
ability to-
destabilizing influence.
They definitely don't have the ability to interact directly with mortals.
Yeah.
So
No.
you have an advantage that they shouldn't be able to strike at you directly, but they'll stop their followers from trying to remove you from the board. You are an unknown party at this stage, and the longer you remain unknown, the longer you are safe from either side retaliating to stop what they want.
Yeah.
And if there's more than one party involved, which he suspects, because he believes it is 2 opposing forces, then you will have to be careful who you ask and where you tread. Because questions of this are enough to have people come after you. He'll do what he can to help, but he can't protect everyone.
I would imagine that everyone in this room right now is the enemy of at least one state within this war. By association.
Well, you specifically are now an enemy of the Alphateans.
Exactly. But our diplomat here is most likely, due to their allegiance, an enemy of some other state that is now at war. Same with yourself, Paradir.
We're all
Title-
the same.
No, as far as we know, there's only the 4 countries that are currently
As far as we know.
absolutely.
That news has not been... Some may
And I
not have...
suspect that it will change rapidly.
Exactly.
The news of the war
Exactly.
starting hasn't hit the city yet.
Precisely. So we're not... We have privileged information, and we are also on the front foot here.
Yes.
Hey, be careful where you head because...
Do you have a direction in mind? Do you have a first...
What have you heard most in the last year since we met that most troubles you most?
I have I'm kidding. Sorry.
Well, was that in the last year, Mr. Tiger?
No.
I did have Drazzle discuss at length book 2.
Probably.
And I've already funded the publishing of said book.
The matters involving the Ice Shield Orcs?
The Ice Shield Orcs. I can send you up to investigate that one. I've got you guys down as first choice of things to come. I have another group I've got sending into Alphatia itself. I don't want to send you guys there with some of your affiliations. I don't think you'll make it back out again.
Title, you are already well on the way towards Immortal Infamy.
Yeah. Hey, that's how we can get into difficult countries that are like at war. I can go for a book signing.
tour.
You could be my
That would
entourage,
be-
So you're a postmodern Jezebel?
I guess.
Outstanding. Just walk around and be like, Satanic Versus 2.
I have a group I'm going to go send into the heart of Alphatia into a place that's troubling.
Okay.
So I will tell you more when they finish the investigations.
How will you contact us?
I will give you... Who of you does not have an artifact you're currently counting?
I don't think I have
So,
one.
I think many of us got an artifact in this group.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got an artifact.
Yes.
I think you're about the only one, aren't you?
I-
Well, you've got a joy.
Yes. As far as I know, I'm the only one who has an actual
I don't
artifact.
think I have one.
You do not have one?
Don't think so.
Well, he hands you a black staff as if you'd been holding it the entire time but was never there.
Because I think I sold Curtain Slayer to pay off my debt.
How does
Just
he
went
suddenly
down to
have
a
a
pawn
staff?
shop and said, this is an artifact, what are you going to give me? About 6?
Sorry, what was that I got handed?
He hands you a black staff.
A black star.
Looks to be made out of onyx, pure onyx.
Wait a minute. This isn't the same black onyx from somewhere previously, is it? Because that one was creepy.
It's a black magic stick. Black plastic stick.
Yeah, just wait till you touch something. Oh, look, it's this colour. Look, it's this colour.
Sounds pretty sick.
It wasn't. It
long
kept
as-
going through things and it wouldn't stop.
No, that's his stuff.
That's
Oh,
my
it's
stick.
your stuff.
That's
That's
his
right.
stick.
Yes.
Different
Yours
blood.
was originally black and then it was green, wasn't it?
It was black and then it started glowing green because
That's
it
right.
absorbed a whack load of power
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
used it.
You don't give away good things.
This is you can use this to call me.
No, you, Martin.
Yeah.
Well,
I gave you a magic talking sword.
that's it.
Then I gave you a second magic talking sword.
Martin
And
gives
then I
away-
gave you a third magic talking sword.
And
Martin-
they all argue and all need to be used every round.
Martin gives away great things, not necessarily good things.
Memorable things.
You can use this to dial me anytime you need to.
Dial.
Do you have like a Nakia or something?
Do I have a...
Nakia or something?
go
A little bit more
That's
That's
portable.
right, yeah.
It says, well, look, it is big because it needs to be.
Yeah?
It helps with the reception.
So what did you say?
Nakia.
I think we're at a reception.
N-O-K-I-A. Like the little brick bones?
Oh, right.
Lucky.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, we all pronounce things how we pronounce
Yeah,
it is always
exactly.
correct.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, how you pronouncing is correct.
That would be amazing.
So-
I may not understand it, but it's still correct.
Strap it to
I
your
call
wrist.
Oh, wow.
seagulls. Like Steven Seagal.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
And so with this, you can contact me as you need to. Try not to overuse it.
For the star.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you gonna sleep with it? You gonna attune to
Hope
it?
not.
Not that sort of sleep.
I've slept with nothings already, thank you very much.
I know, we read about them.
I know, exactly. Once was enough.
Hmm.
And here I was thinking that literacy was a gift.
It is. It is. It's what you use it for where it
Are
gets
video games
interesting.
art? I don't know. Is all literature art? Perhaps. What about advertising? Alright, never mind.
Some advertising is art.
And some advertising is video games.
Okay,
Some advertising is video games.
just
Join
wait
the
long enough.
army.
Just wait long enough. Demolition Man.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, every video game based on a movie franchise is advertising that you pay for.
Yes.
And you pay for the right to watch yourself get advertised.
Hello, everybody watching. I recommend you go down to the what's the Film and Sound Archive and watch that. Go through the video games as art exhibition. It's absolutely worth it.
that's
I
right.
intend to
Yes.
go. I haven't made
It is
Keep meaning to
totally
go.
goddamn worth it.
I love games, so I'm not mocking the thing. It's just that I know I'm being advertised at and I paid for the privilege. It's like, sure,
What?
take my money.
Sorry, what are you talking? No, the one that's down at Film and Sound Archive. It's the history of games from an art perspective.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yes. Some very good things down there.
Okay, so you now have a means of communicating with me as needed, and I can give you each an expense account where you can draw money and charge it to it in most capital cities.
That sounds
I've heard of
dangerous.
this. It's kind of like a small. It's like a small etched disc. I think the gnomes invented it. It's called It's called a vizier.
Yeah, something like that.
VIZIE.
Yeah, yeah. That's how you spell it.
Visa.
Yeah.
No, they call them cogs. So you're a cog of the machine when you use one.
Oh, my joke was funny.
It was.
So he hands you all cogs, so now you've got cogs. Following your
Can he
suggestion.
also like give me a button-up shirt while we're at it?
No, but he could if you want him to.
Can
What does your character particularly want a button-up shirt?
I've never seen one, but somehow this idea is just like coming to my mind.
Okay. One gets brought in.
I have a cog.
What color is
You
it?
do.
You
A
have
very
your cog.
shiny new cog.
And he says most banks in capital cities
Mine's-
will honour it,
there's
so
the
you'll be
cog.
able to withdraw up to 1,000 gold pieces each. And he's giving you in advance per investigation you go on and do. So you're starting off with 1,000 gold.
So when we leave this room, we have 1,000 gold?
You have 1,000 gold now
Oh, right, okay.
in that account whenever you and you can withdraw as much as you need
In any major city.
in any major city. So it has to be at least city size. That will be a bank, and the bank will recognise it.
Sounds suspicious.
I reckon we should begin our investigation at the strip club.
So while your character has an interest in strip clubs, he seems to be confused about it.
Artistic appreciation.
I'll probably pass.
Yeah. Depends how good they are.
So any
when
sure
does
that's
it-
the
when does
reason
it-
I want to
when does
pass.
it refresh?
The
I
less
might see my
cost.
daughter there.
when you complete the investigation and start the next, he will make sure that the balance is increased.
Okay, all right.
And you can sort that out via communication.
Yeah, I understood. So,
So-
if we have some sort of large upfront cost, is that per person or is it
Per
collective?
person.
Right. Okay.
Each of you have that.
So we got 5. Okay, so we've
And
got
your friend Chevron will also have one, as will Drezel,
7,000 gold pieces to
per investigation.
do this, to investigate this. That's a lot of greased palms and a lot of.
I can't afford to do this all the time, but I am starting with you
No,
guys to
that's
see what.
for a person who crash landed and jumped out of a dish. You certainly accumulated some money fast.
Did you say that? with
Well, he's got.
the,
He said
power
5,000
cities
years,
are
Yeah,
gained-
exactly.
even though
Wealth
he's in
has
America
been
for part of
super
it.
I mean, he's the fact that he's giving out like bank cards. I'm thinking this man has invented wire fraud.
Oh no, I just communicated with the gnomes. The gnomes are quite interested in the accumulation of wealth without carrying it.
Absolutely, we are.
Because the dwarves like to carry it with them, but that's impractical.
It
The
is.
elves don't really care about it because they can always make more. The halflings get rid of it to buy food. The humans do weird things with it.
Sometimes they bathe in it, apparently.
Well, they like to count it a lot. I don't know why. And the Genasi have taken up the traits of all the other races. So on a whim, they could do just about anything.
Hmm.
So they're very unpredictable in that.
Mm.
But as an elemental bound creature, they're bound to be unpredictable in a way.
Hmm.
And as for the Atruaghin, they don't really deal with coins. So
How-
the cog is the best way to deal with the Atruaghin.
All right. So one thing that has stood out for me, you asked the question quite a number of minutes ago about what is the one thing that I've heard over and over again and has occupied my time. I'm very concerned about the destruction of the gnomish economy through the obliteration and theft, and there's the sad. Where am I going with this?
Yeah.
Basically the convoys have been destroyed.
The great caravan.
The great caravan is
Highforge.
gone, and
Do you
then
want me to get you a soapbox to say this on?
We can probably get one in here.
I am happy for you to go off and investigate.
He did
this
ask
and
for
see-
soapbox items.
and see if this is linked to one of the Immortals in getting involved.
precisely.
Because such a thing.
I would think that is important, being that the economic backing of the people who are giving us our cards would be a good place to start.
it would.
Because if that collapses, this collapses the whole.
That's only one of the gnomish communities. The main community of the gnomes
okay.
is in Irendi.
All right, never mind. It's not the main one. Then.
Right.
You
but-
suddenly don't care about gnomes. That's
No.
Well, they-
no.
but they-
Exploitation of my people.
No.
No, no, it's all right. You provided justification for your interest.
No, it was that
We will have
I
to
was
accept that.
I was trying to be like, all right, let's push this in a direction.
Yeah.
He's happy for it to go that way.
Legit.
So,
I understand,
and
but it was
that
like
is
the way you
legitimate.
sold it was like it's going to be the annihilation of the gnomish people. I'm like, I am concerned as a gnome.
It's going to be the annihilation of the high.
And then I drew it.
That's right.
Then I drew the
Yeah.
connection between. Wait a moment.
Yeah.
Our funding comes from these guys,
Yeah.
and that's an economic peril. We should probably do that.
Yeah,
It
that's
may
fair.
impact.
It's legit.
It may
Yeah.
even cause problems
We'll go with
in
that,
the
that's
ability
fine.
to get funds if they disappear.
Yes.
So that while that might not collapse the funding completely, it may cause problems.
I relinquish
Hmm.
the soapbox for another person.
It was a good idea, though.
It is.
It still is. We can go do that if you want.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that
Hey,
as a start, and the
it
sooner
gives
you
us a
can,
start.
sooner
Yeah.
you can solve that problem, the sooner I can move you onto something else that you see equally
Yeah.
as important. I am letting you drive where you go because you are my number one choice.
You are actually one.
Mm.
So you have more free reign than most of the others. They get to pick up the dregs or the side things that you point out that need to be investigated. You have other things that you believe need investigating. One
Right.
of you mentioned the Ice Shield Orc. I can send a group off after that to see what they can find out.
Okay.
I'm sure that I have a more expendable group I can send that way because that sounds like they'll be gone
And-
for most of the year.
And specialist
Dibs on
teams.
Carter.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure you've got at least one team who are stealth specialised. They'd be ideal for that sort of thing.
And I think they need to be able to deal with horsemen, clerics, and dragons. So I'm
Stealth oriented with barbarians.
There certainly has been some word over the last couple of years about the influence of giants in areas.
Yeah,
but
true. The
again,
giants
it's not-
have come up a few times.
Not something that we felt in a position to be able to do anything about at this stage, but
Yeah.
I think one of my groups might actually have a couple of giant speakers in there. So I will see if one of them is willing to investigate further and get back more information. Collating what's happening would be good.
Yes.
like I say, there seems to be a lot of misinformation or lack of information.
Mm.
So,
I have also heard rumours coming out of Moldavia in Galantry about an increase in the number of undead in that region.
Yes.
I've heard rumours about increase in the number of werewolves in another region of Galantry.
Werewolves are pretty cool.
Yes, but werewolves generally don't have control of themselves when they're in their were form.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Still cool.
certainly, yes, I could be somewhat interested in the undead, but I'm not certain that we necessarily want to associate too closely with Galantry immediately.
there's also
Not immediately.
People dealing with what else was happening at the same time? There are many things happening right now that could really do with your interest or someone's interest.
Yeah. Actually, enabling werewolves to actually have some control of themselves while in animal form would be interesting,
We could ride them.
and make them cooler.
I'm probably more like.
So while you're in Karamikos, are you interested in also finding out what else is happening in that nation?
Yes.
Because the
Might as well.
Gnomish caravan was not the only thing that they are talking about at this stage.
Mm.
Yeah, sounds like a good start.
As you can also ask them about what's happening with the giants, because they are also reporting issues with giants. Atruaghin is not the only country complaining about giant issues.
Mm.
Don't the gnomes have their airmobiles things?
They do, if you really want to fly in one.
No, just they'd probably have good, decent, up-to-date reports having seen from their flying machines.
Have you been in one of those gnome flying machines?
I don't want to be in one, but I'm assuming the gnomes would have good scout reports on the giants.
Have you read a gnomish scout report?
I'm assuming this one can read it.
They talk about cloud movement.
Oh.
They
Well,
fly
can you
above the
translate
clouds.
cloud movement for us?
It's part about if you know the weather, you know the strategy, and you know, and you can outflank the enemy.
And they like to fly above the clouds
Exactly.
to
So they
hide
can
themselves
see-
from view from below.
They're not seeing what's
Oh.
happening below.
Okay.
So they use the cloud movement to cover their trouble.
I guess that's not very useful, is it?
That's why they're always painted blue from the bottom.
Huh.
Because there are people with things like magic missile, shoot what you see.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Because when things have line of effect
Hmm.
and line of sight, you can get some pretty devastating shots off.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if magic missile is line of sight anymore, but it used to be. If you could see it, you could hit it.
It's your game.
Yes. At what in
your
one
game.
version it didn't have a maximum range.
I'm sure there's a magic barrage version.
But there
Yeah.
are people who
The
can
point
throw
is,
magic
yes,
at stupid
if it can be
levels.
seen, it can be put in danger anyway.
Get enough
Yes.
casters together, you can make magic ballista, I'm sure.
Predict the weather.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
Yes.
You can control chaos itself.
Yeah, they've lessened it to 120 feet. But it used to be line of sight.
Yeah. As I said, in one version. But it's normally been a battlefield grade weapon, at 300 feet or thereabouts.
Well, people should understand being able to control a tempest would be a great
Yes,
advantage.
but more the oceans and things than the actual...
There are also
Yeah, the
there's
idea
also a
is the same.
chance to get the attention of the gods itself. People can go to the various temples, the various organizations, and start asking the hard questions. Unfortunately, I don't expect those groups to live very long. So, do you have anyone you don't really trust amongst the people you've met so far?
Yeah, because priests get a bit iffy about being asked questions.
I thought the gods themselves.
Well, that too.
I don't think I'd wish anyone to actually send on a certain suicide mission unless...
Can I make an
they're
Arcana
aware
check on this?
Yep.
Okay. Can I indirectly
Hmm.
ascribe the? You know where I'm going with this. If I name someone, have I then fed the beast and they die?
No.
Ah, alright, never mind.
You have to do it by your own hand, as far as you know. You can't. You can't.
That's so messy.
You have to actually be touching them with the thing that kills them. You can't
Sacrifices
actually
have
send
to be an
someone off to
actual
die.
sacrifice.
And after the first time you kill someone, it gets more
Yeah,
specific.
but it's
It gets more
evil.
specific each time you kill someone.
Yeah, but it's
how you want
evil.
it done.
Yes.
Isn't that what you're going for?
No.
No, he's
So
going for
you
naughty.
do know. You do know
I'm supposed to be trying to harvest it without them, without their, without,
He's trying to
without. I'm trying to steal it.
He's trying to steal power, not buy
Thing
it.
is,
And
but
so,
Yeah.
so the demon is
So,
offering you knowledge, power, each time you sacrifice someone. But each time you sacrifice someone, the restrictions of sacrificing increases by 1.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
So-
evil. And so therefore, I'm trying
Not
to
do it.
game the system best as possible.
Well, the first pipe was free.
You can keep
There was
trying.
no restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
You say, mine's not saying don't, can't try.
Yeah.
That's
And-
why I'm trying.
You could name someone in the hope that it might work.
I just want to make an Arcana check about that. So
Yeah.
see if I've done something in the last year that has led to that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I mean, after
Yeah,
all those
so-
poor life drawing people.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I don't have anyone that I particularly wish to die.
So I will ask them all to be careful then,
Mm-hmm.
and I will, except for that Theatin spy who keeps telling everyone she's a spy. I don't know why she keeps telling everyone she's a spy. One of her other party members may be a spy, so I'm
Hiding in
excluding
plain
them
sight?
too. Yeah, I think it was trying to obscure the others, so
So I
I'm,
say it's
yeah.
that's
think it's
providing cover.
As I said, she's being bait.
hiding behind a low IQ, I think, is the correct terminology.
Yeah.
She came highly recommended,
Is it in her handwriting?
probably.
The point is that she may still be very valuable later down the track when we have more knowledge about exactly what's happening.
Well, I was going to send her back with
Here is a
misinformation.
distraction.
They're going to send her back with misinformation about what we're trying to do. So
That's what I
hopefully,
mean, is
whatever the
that
Theatins were
you know,
planning to do
you-
to you guys, they'll go
you have a
do to
diplomat
someone who's
who
supporting
is-
them.
Well, hopefully the Titans aren't necessarily opposed to us yet.
Yeah.
Because we're certainly
Those are all
not
shiny things.
pro-Alphacia at this stage, which is not necessarily pro-Thyatus.
Well, Galantry is at war with this nation, so technically our student over here is also at war with them as well.
Mm.
Yes, I have my papers.
But hey, at least you're not a noble, so you don't have to go to war. If you're a noble, you would be signing up to go to war right now.
Donna Noble has been saved.
Yes. Worth saving.
Do you have any thoughts in your head as to how long it might take before more countries and possibly the world are involved in this war?
I do not know, but it's already been brewing for the last 5 years, and it's come to a head. I do have another. I do have a sponsor who is providing me with
The actress has her own TV show.
the gold and the
actress for Diamond.
magic. And if you need a clerical support or wish to serve another god for this cause, he is the god who's sponsoring us, or the Immortals sponsoring us, as that may be. He goes by the name Benny Candle.
Wait, so you stop serving one god and start serving another?
It is possible to do so, but he does not recommend it. It's something you have to. It's a moral choice.
He's saying that his patron is Benny Candle.
So he's
Okay.
he's laying that on the table beforehand.
How do we
so
know
you
his
who it
patron is not an asshole and is evil?
Because he's the one who has.
I think everyone is suspect.
He says, doubt him, doubt everyone. Do not accept anything you're being given at face value, including himself.
No, okay.
Everyone is a suspect until you can find out what they're trying to do. And he's not hiring you to listen to him blindly and to do what he says.
Yeah.
11 on knowledge, religion.
You've not heard of him.
Never heard of him. Fuck that. I got 4.
Rest up.
Thanks.
And he will be able to assist you in need, but he is still fairly new to the gods, and he's been advising him of what the Immortals are willing to do in relation to him. And he has just recently joined the Draconian Pantheon,
Okay.
as in he only joined this game year.
As in Benny Cando just joined the Derek. Right, okay.
But he is still not in any of their scriptures or writing or such. He's taking
even
this
prophecies.
country. He's taking this country as the point of origin for his religion.
Okay.
So I based myself out of here as his first spokesman.
Yes. Immediate thought. Pick up a level of cleric and become a cleric of him. Immediately be the high priest because there is no other one.
Well, no, that might be taken.
Maybe.
Rheddrian probably counts as high priest if he's that new.
He's also the one doing all the putting people out. So he's doing it in his god's name. And that's why he's been upfront about who his god is.
Yes. No, I won't pick up another god. I've got 3 to deal with now.
At this stage,
Does
Benny-
becoming
well,
a,
two.
does becoming a further celestial warlock and a different patron give you more spells and good stuff? Or
no,
No.
because you can't.
No,
you can't become
it's-
another warlock.
No.
You can't get another
However-
patron as a warlock, or you can.
However, the Dragon Secret Craft has Diamond as a patron.
He's one of
So
the,
it's actually powered from Diamond.
So you could pick up another patron, but not using warlock
No,
association.
not
You're
using
looking for the
warlock.
sugar level
No,
cleric.
Yeah.
no, you can take another level in warlock, but a separate level.
No, so
So you can
No,
be a warlock,
no, no.
multi-class warlock,
No, but yes, because but you end up with between.
and then you end
two
up with a
first
then
level.
you end up with a demon and an angel on
Yeah,
your shoulder.
but you also end up being 2 first level warlocks. It's not very useful.
He also says that Benekander's policy is on immortal restraint, that they should be looking after the mortals that provide them their power, because without the mortals, they have no power.
Wasn't he nice?
He's not particularly
Pragmatic.
nice. He just doesn't reckon you should keep the food that is providing you the food.
Golden goose and other such fables.
Yes.
Yes, why kick and torment the food that is powering you? Because that's technically what we are to the gods, is their food. And our worship is what they feed off. They don't actually feed off us, they feed off our worship. So when you're not believing them, they cease to exist.
Yes. One of the reasons they don't like atheists.
Which is why atheists don't get a second chance. If atheists are on the brink of death, they die.
Yeah, every god in the world goes, fuck you.
Well, no, actually, no.
See you guys.
They don't care enough.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Well, no, an atheist, they'd watch them for the chance to go.
No, there are demons
See you next time.
of this underworld who are looking for any atheist who does not believe or wish to believe in a god, and will take them as soon as possible.
Yeah, because their souls are free to go to wherever somebody wants to drag them.
I have a feeling Eve didn't shut the door properly. She really does.
No, I think she did.
This time it looks like it might have, and then it pops open. Just give it a push.
So,
No click.
Solid.
what direction are we heading?
Well, we'll lead into Karamikos.
So it.
And then potentially, okay, from there we'll work out. Okay. Peter Deer is actually also interested in the fact that he's developed recent interest in history and things like that. He's curious about these stories that Karamikos has had new artifacts and old faiths suddenly reappearing. But okay, that's something that he's thinking about privately. So he's happy that the party wanted to go to Karamikos.
So what you do know of history of the region is the people of Karamikos were are currently known as the Traldara. The Traldara form the basis of the human communities of Darrakan, Karamikos, and Galantry. They were the original human settlers. But they were community settlers, not nation builders. The Thyatans came along and turned each one of those into a nation. Every nation that's settled by humans in this region was created by Thyatans, except for Hilarum and the Northern Reaches. And the Northern Reaches is one of the most chaotic places out there. Minrothad and Irendi were also formed because of Thyatus, but more to kick Thyacians out than to actually be governed by them. But they kept most of the governing structure created by the Thyacians.
Yes.
I wouldn't have thought
So
Thyacians had too much to do with the cultural development of the Ekara.
They were part of their ancestors were part of the people that kept ransacking you.
Yes,
Every-
that's why Atruaghin created the plateau.
It's one of the reasons
get them out of the way.
it's
So
one-
therefore, as far as the
People are
it's
concerned.
recent history of Atruaghin,
Yeah, it's the reason you're one people, not 26.
for a given definition of one.
You're the Atruaghin
Yeah.
people. You wouldn't have been.
You would have been more tribal.
Yeah.
And you would have spread out more. But
But
the
as
thing
I
is,
say, but
everyone
we
attacked.
associate that to Atruaghin himself,
Of course.
in the fact that
Yeah,
he
because-
actually created the plateau that kept
To
the clans
basically
separated
save you from those.
their culture.
But you do
Yeah.
have in history that the ancestors of the Thyacians are the people who destroyed the Atruaghin palace.
Okay, yep.
Mm.
So there is that resentment in there of the Thyacians, which is
Well, there's a reason Darrakan hate them. Or fear them, more specifically.
Mm.
so there is this knowledge that that the Thyacians are the empire builders,
Yeah.
but they're not necessarily the empire. Thyatin itself is built up of 4 separate people. The Thyacians are the main nobility. The Corendans are the main horsemen. The Haitians are the main infantry. And the Nuari are an odd islander sort that is completely at odds with the rest of the people and stand out like a dark skinned to the white skinned. So most of the Thyatin people are so white they burn in the sun.
Yep.
Though they do tan.
Mm.
And the Nuari, the Pearl Islanders, are basically descendants of the Tanagaru, the children of the Dark.
Mm.
The Dark Genasi are descendants.
Oh, right. I was thinking.
They're
Yeah.
the only remaining descendants of the Dark Genasi.
Oh, I was thinking something else entirely.
Mm.
Okay.
And that they're basically part of the nation. So they are also very voodoo-esque.
Uh-huh.
Where is their island?
Their island is off the coast of the Hattian Island. So you've got Thyatis. One side of Thyatis is where the Corindans come from. The main part where they're centrally is the Thyatis city. There's an island, big island to the south of that, which is the Hattian Island, and then off to the side of that is the Pearl Island.
Yeah. Because I think mine was like southeast somewhere. I think.
Okay, I will actually dig out a map and show you, because I'll make it easier. Because I have the book up here, which I forgot to bring over. It's always easier to show than to explain. History and location is a big thing. And it's always nice to dig out the old book and say just how relevant it is. Okay, so you have a big map of the region.
Yeah.
So where you are now is you're right here.
Yep.
So when I was talking about the heroes of Salonika, that's where they came from, the other side of the same nation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where you are now.
Yes.
Karamikos is down here, which is Specularum.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to go to is the fork in the river here next to Colvin, which is Highforge.
Right.
So Irendi is this area down here. So right below where you are now is Irendi. Atruaghin plateau is there.
Yeah, that's the height of the plateau.
Yeah, right.
The Glantry is up here.
Right.
Ethinger is here. The Northern Reaches is here. So when I was talking about the Ice Shield Orcs, they came from the mountain range here and went north. So skirting stuff up there. The Dwarfs are here, Rockholm. The Elves are here, Alfheim. You've got the deserts here of Yalera. Fallout of a War of the Gods, where mortals took on the gods and lost. And this is Thyatis. So you've got the Corendan area here. You've got the main Thyatin area here. You've got the Hattian area there. They're the most insular of the Thyatins. They don't really want to mix with other races. And you've got the Pearl Islanders in that area there. And so the Isle of Dawn is here. There's a big island here, bigger than most of the known world. And you've got the Isle of Dread down the bottom here. So that's where you'll find the Isle of Dread in comparison. The Isle of Dread is tiny, the Isle of Dawn is massive.
And Alphace is about here.
So half of the Isle
So
of
what's the world
Dawn is
name?
owned. What is the world name?
Yeah.
Mystara.
Mystara.
So look for the Pandia, the Vault of Pandius, and it has all the maps in it. And so you've got the Isle of Dawn nearby, which I will actually show you on a world map, because I have that here, which is why I grabbed this book. So you've got this little bit down here is the
The map
known
you were
world.
just showing you.
So that's the map I was just showing you.
Right, okay.
So this big island here is the contested Isle of Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
That big island there.
Contested between
Sorry,
Alphace and
the Pearl
Thyatis,
Islands
you
are
mean?
actually down there. My mistake. They're not part of where they are further to the south.
Okay.
So they are connected to the Jungle Coast. Whereas Alphatia is this big island off to the side of the Isle of Dawn. It's actually bigger than the Isle of Dawn and the Known World put together.
Oh, okay.
And Alphatia owns Balrysia and Scothar at the same time. So these two are sub-nations to this nation.
Yeah.
And this is the empire that's declared war with Thyatis.
Oh.
And
And Galantry.
Yeah.
And the Haldenic regions, Haldenic territories. So those three nations in comparison are the equivalent of saying, hi, I'm an ad to a boot coming down on you
But,
in the size.
but relying
Yeah.
somewhat on the fact that it's going to be difficult for Alphacia to put its full might against
Given the
Thyatis,
distance.
just because of the distance involved.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alphatia is a nation of spellcasters.
Yeah.
Anyone with the
That's-
ability to throw magic around has rights. Anyone who does not have any rights. So as a party, you're uniquely ability to go into that country and not be thrown in prison for being a non-spellcaster without a license permit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Whereas
So it's potentially
other things you will learn in the next
equipping that
game
picked up
is
that
more
level of
information.
spellcaster those who didn't have spellcaster before.
But I imagine if they could use something like, I don't know, grounding stones here, And then they can probably cast portals and things.
Oh, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
but the point is, they're still not going to be able to apply their full might.
No.
It's still only going to be a portion of their might.
Portal technology does not work with artifacts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You cannot send an art. This is one of the reasons why I've been making a point that
Yeah.
you cannot put an artifact into a bag of holding. You cannot move
Extra-dimensional space.
You cannot move
Yeah.
extra-dimensional spaces via magic.
But if any nation would have portal capability, it would be that nation, I assume.
Oh,
It is.
exactly.
And they do have flying ships. They
Mhm.
have magically enhanced sailing ships designed for flight.
Yeah.
Cool.
And they have the biggest navy in the world. The Haldanic Knights have completely different technology. You hear their ships flying, but they have no known power source.
Hmm.
They just fly at the same speed no matter what's happening. And they make a racket when they do so because they're punching through the air as they go. There is no exhaust, no outtake, no plume, just a shriek of it
Lots of
flying through the
noise,
wind.
and they go boom.
The gnomes use technology corrupted with magic.
Yep.
Because why not?
Because you can.
Well, actually, they can't make the technology work without magic.
Just like I said, I haven't actually been able to confirm is, do you actually have a list of languages, like all the human languages in the
I'm
world?
cleaning that up still. That's
Okay, yeah.
as I'm releasing the different
Yeah.
languages. The different races. I'm cleaning
What
up the
about
languages.
Because obviously, yeah, so I'll decide what two languages
You've picked up.
you get through your God of Knowledge. Now, or if you want to, if he says, I'll offer you this language or these two languages, that's fine too. But yeah,
Yeah.
just pick a couple that seem appropriate in that sort of way. But
I think for you, Alphatian as one of them would be key.
you've already got Alphatian.
Okay.
So
Then-
he's currently got Phaeton, as in Atruaghin, Alphatian, Keldaran, Elven, not necessarily specified because I'm assuming it's Kalari Elf,
Yep.
and now also Celestial through the Spiritologist side of the house.
Which is amusing because I don't speak Celestial.
There's, but then two more
But-
languages are provided as part of the Blessings of Knowledge.
In which case, I'd go Dragon and Giant.
Dragon and Giant?
Draconic and Giantish because they are Giant, Draconic, Celestial, the two Infernal tongues, and the Primal tongue make up the basis of magic.
Apparently I've got a Atruaghin, Makai, Phaeton, Primordial,
And
Primordial,
obviously,
Elven.
like I said, because these languages actually come as lessons of knowledge,
Yeah.
there's a lot less required to justify. Hey, who did you learn that from? Well, actually, God gave it to me.
So you can learn any language in 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Yep.
but obviously you've got to have someone to actually teach it to you.
Yeah.
Whereas these ones are the ones that. Yep.
So your characters should be able. Each one of those hexes there, Drew, should be about, depending on which map you're looking at, about 8 mile.
Normally 8 to 12 miles.
But I
Yeah.
think that one you're looking at is the 24-mile one.
Yeah, I think it is. No, it might be the.
It might have had a scale written on the original.
It'll be in
the file name.
It'll be in the corner.
It is the yes, the 24.
One hex equals 24 miles.
Yeah.
So it does take a long while to traverse.
So along a road, that's about a day's travel. That
Normally
can't
you
remember
you
the travel in this week's system at the moment.
normally you travel 4 by 8, so that is
32.
if you're on a horse, 32 mile a day.
Yeah. Okay.
What was the what was the
If you travel by boat,
down below thing?
and the boat doesn't have to dock,
The
then you can travel the
It was there, wasn't it?
the
Yeah,
entire
24
hours.
hours.
So
Uh,
ocean travel is basically
Where are we?
divided
Yeah,
instead of by
basically
8
right there,
for
yeah.
8 hours a day is divided by 24. So that
What's it
so
called?
basically you take your movement. If you're walking, you're doing 3
the
mile
Temple of
an
Atruaghin.
hour. If you're riding 4 mile an hour,
I got the 24 in my head. That's right. Yep.
so it's 3 hour. It's 24 if you're walking.
Yep.
And I can bring up the.
And then we
base.
went to where? It was like down here somewhere, wasn't it?
What were you looking for?
Yes, we went basically where you were just waving, in the mountains actually.
No, we haven't.
Because
Bay of Wales.
Where you went and found the tower,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tower?
the keep that you found.
No,
the shield?
not that
No,
one.
no, no,
He's
Bay
talking
of
about our
Wales.
travels after the
Bay of Wales.
after the temple.
Yeah.
So we
No,
get
Bay of
up
Wales.
Bay of Wales
to talk to the
is
dragons.
If you go this way, and you go a bit more that way.
down
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
probably about here, I think.
So Bay
out
of
there,
Wales.
and then from there, yeah.
But exactly where it was obscured by the dragons.
Doesn't matter. I'm just doing general sort of.
No, it was just.
and then we went from Bay of Wales to Darrakin.
Yeah, you teleported to Darrakin,
Wait a minute.
to Darrakin City.
How do I undo? Oh, wait a moment. Of course.
Yeah.
Just rub stuff out.
Yes. Now here's something to have as a weapon to drag around and point at bad people we don't like.
Trebuchet.
Whoop.
Well, that's a big
That
weapon
was
there.
supposed to be. No, go away.
Looks like you got a
back.
planetary-sized weapon there.
That was something else I wanted to check on too, Martin. As far as holy symbol as the Atruaghin clans go, his Makatul counts as a holy symbol, does it?
It can if you have it set up to be your holy symbol.
Okay, it's something I noted, like I had it noted down in the original things for it, was the fact that it was
And then it was up in here somewhere, wasn't
being
it?
such an old relic.
Okay, let me
counted-
go.
Basically,
I'll
yeah,
go
that-
to
that
Atruaghin
hex.
and find out what he considers
Well,
his
the
holy
one you
symbol.
pointed at. Yeah, it's in there.
But you can have any weapon inscribed to be a holy symbol.
Yeah. Yes. Now here's the trebuchet. This one is actually using a technique that was developed in about the last 40 years. That particular trebuchet is not something you'll see in history. But that just threw a flaming piano, which weighed half a ton, through a flaming piano over 100 metres. It was actually close to 200.
Okay, so his holy symbol is the feathered serpent wearing a war bonnet or a tomahawk and warbler. His two main holy symbols. So you can have either of those inscribed upon it, or you can have a war bonnet and a tomahawk as your holy symbol. Either of those will work.
Well, so you probably.
If you have it inscribed, you most likely have the serpent, the feathered serpent wearing a war bonnet as the inscribed holy symbol.
Okay.
And the weapon of choice of the clerics is the hand axe.
Okay.
You're not required to use one, but
I'm not particularly fussed, like I say.
you are considered if you were already trained in it from class options. If you were proficient in it, you become skilled in it. If you weren't proficient in it, you become.
So that's basically what we've done,
proficient.
from my perspective. I've come from Alfheim to there.
So I've done some
to
racial
there,
updates
to
there
there,
as well. So the racial
to there,
weapons
to
now
there,
give you
to there,
become
to there.
skilled
Oh,
instead
sorry,
of
whoops.
trained.
Okay.
You
So
went over there for a bit.
if you're already trained in it from your class,
Yeah.
so elves will get benefits.
No, actually, it might count as
Yeah,
a simple.
and there's not actually a lot that I would add to
hand
that
axe is a
for
simple
mine.
weapon.
Feel
So as a simple weapon, you will start off as being skilled.
Because
Oh.
I went from there
Yeah.
to there
So you certainly don't
Well,
have to
sorry.
use much reach.
to there, trying to get to here,
He,
ended up on here,
he's not
and
particularly
then back down again, going the long way around.
wedded to any particular weapons at the moment.
And
He's
then
going to say use the Makatul
remembers.
quite often.
Okay.
So,
because he-
yeah.
he's
So I actually went
got away
round
with
the
it,
end of the
so.
thing
But
twice.
he preferred to use ranged weapons because they got his feet in.
Hand thrown or projectile.
Well, the feat is sharpshooter, but it actually just refers to ranged attacks.
Okay,
So-
because I would basically carry a couple of hand axes then
Yeah.
as your main throwing.
There's throwing weapons. Yeah.
You can also get Bola, which is not in 5th edition, but I've got it set it up. It's coming up soon. I've got Net. I've got Lasso. Lasso is a ranged attack that you hang on to.
Yep.
And I think that's already up.
Yeah, less I think.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
so
Lasso comes from the Epingarian Guide as a weapon. And I think it was a fantastic different weapon to use that you can just take a length of rope and turn it into a lasso.
Yeah. Except that's not actually how it works.
I know.
Well,
That's how they've done it.
That's right.
Yeah.
In a
It's-
D&D
it's-
sense, it's all of it.
It's stiff rope.
yeah, it's done as
But
a
yeah, it's not-
simplification.
Yeah.
in the same way as in
Oh, yeah.
earlier editions.
Well-
If you had the rope use proficiency, it improved your skill with lasso.
Well, yes, it would do. Yeah, it's just the rope it uses is relatively special, but you get it from a standard rope maker. You just ask him to make it too tight.
Yeah, so
It's not
sharpshooter
hard.
just says it's the you've mastered ranged weapons and can make shots others find impossible. So so the cool thing about it is that particularly if you go hand axe, is the fact that you get no disadvantage for long range. So therefore you could throw the hand axe 60 feet and
Yep.
still be hitting well.
And there are some weapon options that will be there that if you hit at extreme range, if they're right on the edge of your range, you can do detrimental effects. So I am
So you can
expanding
still
the-
affect
If
it
you're
without
showing off
damaging
how
it.
good you are at that distance, people get
Yes.
scared. Yeah.
And there's also the potential for pinning people with your axes as well. So they are weapon options you can learn. And they are given to any thrown, bladed, or piercing, slicing or piercing weapon will be intended to be able to pin a target when you throw it. And so if you learn to pin one target with it, learning to pin with a different weapon is a lot easier.
Yeah.
But you still have to learn to pin with each weapon.
Yes. I found a really good weapon to.
So did they? So Atruaghin officially calls hand axes. They refer to tomahawks, do they?
You use the hand axe as the tomahawk.
Yeah, they can't
Yeah.
say that they call them
It's a
tomahawks.
tomahawk is a slightly specialised version of a hand axe.
Absolutely, no, that's right. I realise
Yeah.
that.
So think of the tomahawk as the dressed up version of the hand axe.
Exactly, that's right.
Yes,
In the same way.
because it's a special. It's a gifting weapon.
The point is, it's in the same way that Pedadir uses a macatool,
Yes.
not a longsword.
Yes. Yes. I found a while ago a weapon that's the sort of thing that dwarven specialists would use, and would take in a fantasy world. Only dwarves are going to be able to make these things, or possibly gnomes. Come on, play, damn it.
Okay, so that looks like a ballista of a sort.
It's a ballistra, but
It fires using
No.
spring.
yep, uses a bronze coil spring rather than rope or hair. So yeah, he's animated every single part.
So it is possible to make in older technology.
Oh yes, the Romans actually had these, but it took the resources of Rome to be able to make them.
Because you needed to have the knowledge to do each bit.
You need to have the knowledge and the people capable of doing things like ratchets and being able to cast bronze coil springs reliably, and make the other metal parts. Almost all of that's metal. It's fucking expensive. Right? It's a weapon of war.
So yes,
Just restarted that. And there was there's a slightly smaller version which doesn't have the crank and is fired from horseback,
oh yeah.
but uses basically the same springs. Either you can use the bronze coil springs or you can use rope torsion.
So he does go into more detail on what he's explaining for you to do.
Yeah.
Because I was trying not to go into the other person's mission, but their mission is just a small section of it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send you to a place where unusual activities are taking place. From there, you're on your own for the most part. Just keep him
Yep.
informed of your movements and activities, and he will warn his other agents not to interfere with you.
Yep.
In general, he wants you to keep your eyes open for certain sets of clues which, to his mind, indicate immortal interference. First, drastic changes to a community or a society. Of course, with war between empires, there will be changes. Try to gauge which changes are likely to result from war and which are not.
Yep.
Keep your eyes open for strange changes, unprecedented ones. Second, unusual activities by clerical orders or unusual changes to the philosophies or opinions of clerical orders.
Mm-hmm.
Such activity tends to mean the immortal is using his or her clerics to achieve some goal. Change in doctrine show that the immortal is providing new, different ideas to his or her clerics, which can point us towards the immortals we seek. Third, watch for unusual and unprecedented magical spell abilities. The device pillaged from my ship may interact with magic native to this world to provide them and their mortal followers with strange, hitherto unknown spells.
Yep.
4. Listen for the names of immortals unknown to you. When you hear of immortals you do not know, ask for their stories and philosophies. In many cases, these will turn out to be local names for well-known immortals you're already familiar with. Those you can safely ignore. In other cases, the immortals you hear of may be completely unknown to you. This could mean that the unknown immortal has been drawn here to participate in the new activities of the immortals, or it may mean something more sinister than that.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I have no guidance for you. Act as the heroes you are in all ways, and I can have no complaints with your behaviour.
So,
So
general
I've heard
adventuring
some
with an
word
agenda.
about this new immortal called Benacanda.
And the main thing he says after that is remember that your mission is one of intelligence and stealth. Please do not kill anything that offends you. I said, please don't kill everything that offends you. At least until you understand what it means.
Yeah.
So killing out of ignorance is not a heroic thing.
Hmm.
Killing out of self-defense is completely different. And so that's how that's how the second act of the Wrath of the Immortal starts.
Mm-hmm.
The other group got sent off to investigate what became the Hollow World.
Yeah.
So Hollow World is part of the setting. You've not heard of it before.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first setting that had a world inside the world.
Yeah.
And so in a year's time in the game, you will hear stories of the Hollow World.
Hmm.
Because that's when they start to surface, because that's one of the resources they're fighting over.
Right.
You'll carry the two hand axes for decorative ceremonial purposes rather than weapons.
Yeah.
Simply because, they say, hand axe, you've got to use strength rather than dexterity.
Yeah.
They're not finesse?
No, they're not finesse. They're light weapons, so you can use them in offhand.
But they're not finesse-like weapons. No.
And that's perfectly fine. Does mean instead of being +7, he's a +3.
Does make a difference of whether you hit or miss.
Exactly.
How are you doing?
I was assuming that we were wrapping up.
Yeah, we'll probably end up wrapping up there, and I'll figure out how long it takes to get you to where you're going based on how you're travelling. Do you wish to travel by horseback? Do you wish to travel by Hamish Invention?
Horseback.
Don't know.
Well, I would say horses or elk.
Yeah, well, I'm
Well, you want to have your elk, and I want to have... Yeah, well, I need to get a horse, actually, now that I...
Well, let's face it. You've just got 1,000. You've got 1,000 gold credit line of credit, so you can afford to get a horse.
yeah.
And you can buy the horse outright, and
Yes.
you can even buy a carriage for that price.
Yes, I would actually... It's a really good, nice thought. Although I'm not going to spend the whole grand on just
And the other thing is, you can buy retainers and people to look
Yeah.
after your things while you're doing other stuff.
So with
Yes.
the large, So what I'm thinking is with the
Hello, Puss.
player-wise, with the large info dump of lore and stuff that we've just been doing here, I've got a feeling that this is probably more than I can handle right now in terms of a homework sense. so I think I might step away for a bit.
It's all good. And when
until
you
I
get yourself
until I
sorted
work
out.
until I work out what my actual workload is for uni. Because what with work being work in the next half a year, and trying to focus on starting at uni again, I think I might want to put some focus into that.
So this is literally a War of the Worlds, so it
Yep.
has so much intrigue in it. It's not like,
Exactly.
and that's without digging into all the other stuff.
But it was the map of like this to this, and the upfront, like this at the start, it was like, here's the news, and instead of being like one or two things, it was like a dozen things. all
And,
these
and
things.
that was the cull down list too.
That was the cull down list.
Extra
It was
stuff
like,
that we heard about.
Yeah,
That's the
I
stuff
don't
we
have-
wanted to check
I
on.
don't,
Yeah.
I don't believe at this point I'd have the time to dedicate to this.
Well, there are.
Unless you're just willing to let it wash over you.
That's what I'm thinking. Is like I'm not doing anyone a favour at this table.
I am happy to bring things to people's attention that they believe should be brought to their attention. It's like I want something brought to my attention that my character cares about, and then I can focus on that. I've done that for many players over the years. I actually had to do it for many groups where I'd say, and here's what your character would pay attention to, and here's what your character would pay attention to. But it was always more work on my part to
Exactly, and I'm
maintain
wanting
that.
not wanting you to spoon feed me. So don't worry about it.
And I already went through the downtime for these guys so they could have the basic
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
of what they did.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I
it seems
can't.
like leveling up and going, yeah, well, I'm seeing that, but it was just like,
Well, I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and I'm finally
Of course
showing
you are.
players
It's
the
good.
work I've done for many years in the background.
and if I was in any other position, like I'd been in the last couple of years, there would be no problems.
Yeah.
But I was letting you know, I probably will take a step back until I can assess what I'm doing.
All good, and Philippa can actually base himself out of Darabin City until you want to come back.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or Galantry in the sense of going
Well-
back into a uni.
Well, no, actually, have him in Darrakan. We can use him as a scholarly resource,
Potentially.
which keeps you in the party.
Well,
He
Well,
could,
those
he
keep
could
you in
even
our
be
minds.
their source in Galantry because
That's
Alphasia
right.
has
Oh, that's
particularly
true.
declared war against Galantry.
that's right.
Mm.
That's what I'm thinking.
And he can provide intel
Yeah.
from the
Slid back into
center
the researcher and the knowledge base kind of thing. So yeah, use it as a library resource until I potentially come back.
And the big thing
Yeah.
you hear about in your first year of studies is the School of Magic is the center of nearly every secret craft.
Mm-hmm.
Anything dealing with the arcane or throwing energy around is centered there. So when they say forbidden magic, they could quite easily be doing forbidden
I can
magic.
I can probably sit down and like watch,
Yeah.
or read the things, but I'll keep appraised on it. But yeah, Togi's mentioned that she wants to be picked up, so I'm going to duck off and do that.
Yes, so we'll see how Eve goes because she may also be in a similar boat because she's doing law studies.
Yeah, exactly. Ding.
Yeah, that's the 10 o'clock mark.
Yes.
Good night, all.
Thank you very
Good
much.
night.
Yeah, good
So,
night.
anyone else want to add anything else on the recording? Hey, we'll put it on
Nope.
finished.
Well,
Help me.
Help you?
Yep.
in that case, it might be a while before I see you again.
Maybe.
Because I'll be missing next fortnight anyway.
Yeah.
But then otherwise, we'll catch
might
up
be a
again
while.
at some point.
Yeah. I've got to find some
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah,
Good luck
the thing
with
is,
your studies.
we can also do board game stuff as well. So